The Girl in Room 105, an Unloved Story by Chetan Bhagat, Part 3, Srinagar. Chapter 20. I still can't believe you booked us into a houseboat, I said, pulling my suitcase off the baggage belt. Despite half a dozen extra security checks for flights to Kashmir, we had landed on time at noon. The Sheikh Ul Alam International Airport in Srinagar had more CISF and army personnel than passengers. Trust me, you will love it, Saurabh said. Let me call the driver. He pulled out his phone and proceeded to stare at the screen. What? I said. I don't have network. Can I use your phone? Saurabh said. I didn't have any signal either. Both of us switched off our phones and turned them back on twice. No network. Do you have prepaid cards? A co-passenger at the baggage belt said to us. Yeah, Saurabh said. I took one in Delhi when I moved. Never switched to postpaid. Me neither, I said. Prepaid cards from other states don't work in Jammu and Kashmir. Security reasons. We talked out of the modern airport. I saw a man holding a heart-shaped placard with our name on it. Seriously, Saurabh. I turned to Saurabh. Great service, isn't it? He said. We drove north on the airport road towards the city center. As we left the white cream roll shaped airport building, we noticed the mountains around us. The April sun glinted off the snow-capped peaks that formed the city's backdrop. As we approached the center, it resembled any other non-metro Indian town. Hoardings for cold drinks, cell phones, underwear and entrance exam coaching classes dotted in landscape. I guess that is what India is about. Study hard in your comfortable underwear, play with your phone and drink coke. Repeat. It looks like any other place in India, Saurabh said, thinking along the same lines. It is India, I shrugged. Don't they have their own constitution and flag or something? I pointed to the driver and placed a finger on my mouth. I had heard talking politics in Kashmir would only invite trouble. I didn't need trouble. I needed our cell phone to work. Assalamu alaikum. Saurabh Bhai, Keshav Bhai, I am Nizam, a 30th lean-bodied man with a beard and skull cap, greeted us at the entrance of the houseboat. Come, follow me. I will take you to your room, Nasim said. Our houseboat was moored right on the Dalam River in Srinagar city center. It was close to Wazir Bagh, where Sarah had spent her childhood. The houseboat company had half a dozen and such boats, each with 3 or 4 rooms each. This boat remained tied to the pier for most of the day, making the setup resemble a floating hotel. Nizam took us to our room, a wooden cabin no bigger than the size of my hostel room. It had one double bed. Not this, I said. We want one with separate twin beds. Usually couples came here. They don't want separate beds. But come, I have another room in the next boat, Nizam said. We could have booked separate rooms for each of us, I said. And paid double, Saurabh said. I guess money trumps privacy. Anything you need, Nizam is here to help you, Nizam said as we reached our room. My cell phone doesn't work, I said. A new SIM card can take a week to get activated. What? I said. Indian government rules. What can we do? They do what they want, Nizam said. How do I stay in touch with people? I said. Nizam turned to Saurabh. Tell your busy friend to relax. He has come to Srinagar on holiday. We still need to be connected, I said. There is Wi-Fi on the boat. Password is on the bedside table, Nizam said. And phone calls? No way to get a SIM, I said. Nizam took out a phone from his pocket. Here, take out the SIM and use it. Your SIM, Nizam, why? Saurabh said. It is my spare phone. This problem comes. So we keep a couple of extra ones. Sarah told me about the house she grew up in. That is our first stop tomorrow. To find Sikandar, I said. We had come for an evening walk to Dal Lake, seen in countless photographs and Bollywood movies as the classic Kashmir backdrop. I tried to forget that I was in Sarah City, the place she grew up in, had been happy in. Did she feel this breeze? Did she touch the water of this lake? I wondered. Safdar uncle gave you the exact address, right? Saurabh said. He did. The one he had from long ago. My worry is if Sikandar and his family have moved. Safdar only had a Wasir Bag address. We will soon find out. We passed a group of young Kashmiri boys in their teens. They sat on a beach playing with their phones. I went up to one of them and asked for a dinner place suggestion. Try Adu's restaurant. One boy with a soft stubble said. Good Vaswan. Thank you, I said, noticing his beautiful green eyes. As Saurabh and I turned to leave, the boy spoke again. Are you from India? I looking back at the boy, surprised by the question. Yes. Aren't you? I said. I am Kashmiri, he said. All his friends laughed. One of them even clapped. Saurabh nudged me to say we should leave. But Kashmir is a part of India, I said. We hate India, another boy said. We spoke in a normal tone, as if he had said, I hate cabbage or I hate radish. Hate, I said. Let us leave, Saurabh said, fear visible on his face. Thank you for your suggestion. We have to go. The boy laughed at Saurabh's words. Don't be scared. We are not terrorists, the first boy said. God promise we are not, the second boy said. They spoke in a matter-of-fact tone. I could tell this had happened to them before. A bunch of Kashmiri Muslim boys sitting on a bench. Obviously tourists wanted to keep their distance from them. I am Rajasthani too, but also Indian, I said and smiled. Don't hate your country. India is not our country. India doesn't care for us. Saurabh rammed an elbow into my rib. He said, let us go. He said, I was right. I was breaking my own rule of no politics talk in Kashmir. What are your names? I asked the boys, ignoring Saurabh. I am Karim and that is Saqib, the first boy with the green eye said, pointing to the second. The three other boys remained quiet, busy with their phones. What do you do? They looked at each other blankly. Studying, I said. They shook their heads. Working, I said. They shook their heads again. Nothing. We do nothing, Karim said. There are no jobs, no movie theater, neither. For the jobless to go, said another, and all his friends laughed. Karim's green eyes stayed with me, even as Saurabh dragged me away. Why did you to talk to those locals yesterday? Saurabh said. We had taken a left turn from our houseboat and were walking along Talam River to reach Wasir Bag. We turned into the lane with Falak Restaurant, a landmark for Sarah's old address. I was curious. Did you see how he asked if we were from India? Maybe he thought You are a foreigner. I look, asked Desi, asked Dal Roti, and then he says, I am not Indian, I am Kashmiri. What is with these people? Now you know why there is no much army here. Thank God for them. I feel scared here otherwise, like we are being followed or something, Saurabh said. He pointed to the street corner. Four army men stood there, keeping an eye on everyone walking on the road. It is the Indian Army Police. Hate, I said. They are the enemy. Sarah used to tell me all this. It is something else though, to see it like we did yesterday. Ungrateful people. If the army wasn't here, Pakistan would turn this place into chaos. It is not that simple, I said. People are genuinely upset with the army. Maybe we can do a better job listening to them. Anyway, is that Falak? We showed the address to a pan shopkeeper next to the restaurant. You want to meet Sikandar? Sikandar Lone? The shopkeeper said. He took 2 pan leaves and smeared them with lime. Yeah, he still lives there, I said. What work do you have with him? The shopkeeper said. He kept a pinch of betel nut shavings, fennel seeds and cardamom on the pan leaves. We know him from Delhi. He is our friend, I said. Saurabh looked at me, startled. I smiled blandly. Then you should know. He and his mother Farsana used to live here until 2 years ago. Now they only come here rarely. Do you know where they stay now? Saurabh said. Farsana Begum moved to Rajbagh, I heard, near Adu's hotel. What about her son? Sikandar is always on the run. Comes home briefly. Army and police are after him. You should know. Are you really his friends? Yeah, we are, I said. Shall I make you any special pan? How many Rajbagh shopkeepers so far? I said. More than 50, Saurabh said. 2 days wasted. It was evening and we were sitting in the common lounge of our houseboat. We were sharing it with a rather affectionate Sardar honeymooning couple who found it too difficult to walk 20 steps to their own room and make out there instead. The Sardar man insisted on kissing his new bride while taking a selfie with the lake as a backdrop. The woman seemed somewhat uncomfortable, still getting to know her Prince Charming. It looked like an arranged match, probably done through matrimonial app. I looked away to give them privacy. What else can we do? I said. Cable TV shops. Saurabh said. What? Newspaper vendors. Let us go after people who serve the neighborhood. Doctors and plumbers too. Maybe. Let us start early tomorrow. Thank you, Saurabh. I couldn't have done this without you. Shut up, Sandy, for no reason. What are we? A honeymoon couple? Saurabh said. I laughed. Aren't you tired searching without success? I said. Still better than seeing Chandan Araro's face. Hey, don't look now. But that Sardar is a bit too excited. Should we bug him and pretend to take a selfie too? Same pose, I said. 3 more days later, a cable operator became an angel for us. Farsana Lone, right? She stays in that red building on Residency Road, 3rd floor, he said. Are you sure? She is always late paying the bill. I know her, trust me. We rang the doorbell of the said house. A woman in her 50s in a black burqa with only her face visible opened the door. Ji Janab, she said. Farsana ma'am, yes, I am Keshav, a close friend of Sarah's. She scanned us up and down without saying a word. Your daughter Sarah, I said. Stepdaughter would have been more accurate. but I didn't want to bring up technically. She blocked the way into the house with her arm as she wondered what to do next. Maybe you don't remember me. I used to study with her in college, I said. Sarah left with her father 15 years ago. I don't know much about her life after that. I know she used to talk about you and Sikandar. What do you want? Sarah's gone now. Can we come in and talk to you? About what? About Sarah and Sikandar. We need to share something to you. She pointed a finger at Saurabh. Who is he? She said, my best friend Saurabh. We have come from Delhi. It take us a week to find you. She narrowed her eyes. Are you from the army? Are you lying to me? No, Auntie. I said. I took out my wallet. See, my student ID from IIT, the same college where Sarah went. And here is my current visiting card. I teaching at a coaching institute. She remained hesitant. I pulled out my phone and searched for pictures for 5 years ago. Here, Auntie, this is Sarah and me. At the college canteen, Sarah and I were posing with our cups of Bonvita. Both of us had individual assignment deadline the next day. We had worked all night, finished our work and snuggled in bed until afternoon. I felt my head swim. How would I ever get over her if I couldn't forget? I swore to myself that I would delete all her pictures. All. Come in, it is small house. Don't mind, Farzana said. Chapter 21. Allah Riham, Farzana said, raising her open palms and offering silent prayers over 2 cups of kava tea. I repeated the story of Sarah's death and the investigation so far. So that is it. We met Sikandar because I found a picture of Sarah with him. But he ran away. I said. They used to be so close, Farzana said, before Sarah's father ripped them apart. She was always concerned about Sikandar, I said. They were step siblings, but closer than any real one I have seen, she said. I nodded and smiled. But this is life, she said. Sometimes people become close even without a blood tie. Look at you. Sarah and you separated. Yet here you are, the only one searching for the truth. Auntie, will you help us? How can an old woman like me help? She placed the empty teacup in a tray and stood up. Allow me, Auntie, Saurabh said. He took the tray from her and went to the kitchen. Auntie, we need to talk to Sikandar. I am sorry, but if he runs away, the suspicion will be on him. Suspicion for what? For who killed Sarah said. Are you out of your mind? Farzana said and laughed out loud. I looked at her, puzzled, and I thought, you know Sarah well. Sikandar would never hurt his Sarah Appa. He is a suspect, I said. He can't be. Farzana shook her head. It is like killing me. His own mother. If he didn't, all he had to do was talk to us. Why did he run away? He must have felt scared. He is just a little boy, Farzana said. Her eyes began to well up. Saurabh, who had returned from the kitchen, and I looked at each other. He scared us. Andy, he had a gun. He is hardly a little boy, I said. Farzana got up and walked up to the tiny window in the room. She stared at the apartment complex outside. She spoke after she had composed herself. He didn't grow mentally. He quit school after class 5. Low IQ, I said. Yeah, everyone called him stupid. He grew in height and size. Mentally, he remained a child. I nodded as she continued to speak, still looking out of the window. And then Sarah's father left. He found that which sign up in his accounts department. She destroyed us all. Sikandar lost his father and Sarah Appa. It damaged him. He even tried to take his own life. Twice Allah saved him, thankfully. She came back to sit with us. I am sorry, Auntie, I said. I understand what you went through, but help us. Make Sikandar talk to us. As if he listened to me. Hangs out with those good for nothing fundamentalists, I told him. Get a job. So what if you are not the most intelligent boy in the world? You can still open a shop. Nothing he will do. Fundamentalists, I said. These Qatar mullah types who call for Azadi. Yes, we all hate India, but we don't go around flashing guns. Sometimes you have to accept fate. Fate, Auntie, India is our country, but Kashmir is our state, our identity, our everything. Auntie, if every state talk like this, what will happen? Saurabh said. Kashmir is different, Farsana insisted. We are a problem nobody wants to solve. We are only useful as a political tool. I had to remind myself no getting into Kashmir politics, which seemed too complicated and screwed up to understand anyway. Where is Sikandar now, Auntie? I said. He was here 10 days back. Then he went with his good for nothing Tariq friends to Falha. That is where he called me from yesterday. Will you give us this number? The pun we have doesn't work anymore, I said. He keeps changing it. Anyway, I have nothing to hide. See my phone. The last call came from him. She took out her phone from her burqa pocket. I didn't know burqas had pockets. I dialed Sikandar's number. Salam, Ami Jan, Sikandar said when he answered the call. Hi Sikandar, I said. It is Keshav. Silent on the other side. Sikandar, we need to talk. Harami, how did you get Ami's phone now? Farsana Auntie is with us right now. Gudakasam, if anything happened to Ami, I will come and kill your entire clan. We just had Kawa together. I handed Farsana the phone. He say salam to you. I said. Jivo bete, Farsana said. I took the phone back from Farsana. Nothing to worry, I said. I should have killed you that day, he said, followed by a dozen expletives. I went out of the apartment and spoke to him in the stairwell so I could talk in private. Listen, we have come all the way here to talk to you. Why? I have a picture of you, Sarah, and a machine gun and other things I found in her safe. Shall I tell my friends in Delhi to hand them to the police? I said. What things? He said. His voice had become normal. Enough proof to get you into big trouble. So meet us and never curse me again. Or you will be national news tonight as a terrorist and as your sister's murderer. He remained silent. Sikandar, I said, come to Pahalgam. He said after a pause. 3 kawas, boiling hot, Saurabh said to the waiter. The Kashmiri drink, which consisted of green tea boiled with saffron, cinnamon and cardamom, had become Saurabh's latest obsession. He drank at least 6 cups a day. He looked to have it just like the Kashmiris did, piping hot with honey and crushed nuts. Okay, enough honey, Golu, I said as he poured a quarter jar of it in his kawa. Honey is good for you, right? Saurabh said as the waiter left. Okay, Golu, even this good for you. Things are only good for you up to a point, in small portions. Like love, Saurabh said. I understood what he was trying to say and became quiet. He took a sip of his kawa and changed the topic. It is colder than Srinagar here, Saurabh said. The 90-kilometer bumpy and winding bus ride from Srinagar to Pahalgam had taken us 3 hours. We had come to Dana Pani, a restaurant in the Pahalgam main market. I wanted to meet Sikandar in a public place, preferably with plenty of cops and army personnel in sight. I could count at least a dozen uniformed men outside on the road, enough for Sikandar to not try the stunt of pulling out a gun again. Let us make this quick. I haven't told my brothers I am here, Sikandar said. Brothers, I said. My people, none of your business. What do you want to know about Appa? I showed him the photographs of the contents of Sarah's safe. Explain all this, I said. Where did you take this picture? Why did Sarah have Pakistani rupees and SIM card? We took the picture in Delhi, at my hotel. It is a jinxed picture. Why jinxed? Never mind. Tell us more. How did she have the Pakistani stuff? Sikandar let out a huge breath. Appa went to Pakistan for a book fair or something. The Karachi Literature Festival. I said, yes, that is why. She had the Pakistani money and SIM card. What is the big deal? The big deal is this, Saurabh said. Why did she have a dealer-size batch of cocaine and a bullet? I don't know. He looked sullen. I turned to Saurabh. Isn't he hiding something? He definitely is, Saurabh said. I did not kill Appa. Okay. Sikandar sat and banged his fist on the table. The empty kava cups danced a little. Neither does threatening us with guns. My friends in Delhi will submit all the evidence so something happens to us, Saurabh said. A story we had concocted to keep ourselves safe. You brought a weapon again, I said. Sikandar stood up and lifted his arms. Look, if you want, I have nothing. The army checks people at random in the main market. I am not that stupid. Good, sit down, I said, and tell us why Sarah had all this in her safe. Sikandar looked around. The nearest customers were sitting 2 tables away. He said quietly, I have done wrong things, but I didn't hurt Sarah Appa. If you haven't, your secrets are safe with us, I said. I work for Hashim Abdullah. I am sure you know who he is, Sikandar said, as if he was speaking about Bill Gates and Mukesh Ambani. Sorry, no, who is he? I said. He is the head of Tariq-e-Jihad. He gave me a worthy purpose in life, taught me how to live with passion. Hashim Bhai means everything to me. I wanted to tell him killing innocent people or hating your country did not count as a worthy purpose. However, I remembered my non-politics role and remained quiet. Sikandar was saying, Hashim Bhai lives in Azad Kashmir, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. You mean, Saurabh said, that is what Indian propaganda calls it. In reality, where we are in India occupied Kashmir, no politics. I told myself again, leave that, I said, go on with your story. I started as a junior soldier in Tariq. Hashim Bhai gave me a chance to do something bigger. That is when I made a mistake. He avoided our eyes. What mistake? Saurabh said. I tricked Sarah Appa. Be clear, I said. Something about Sikandar annoyed me. Was he actually dumb or pretending to be? Hashim Bhai said he knows people in Karachi who are organizing a literature festival. He said they want to invite some people from India, especially bright students, to show efforts at peace. I couldn't go. Hashim Bhai said my passport should have a few stamps of Pakistan as possible. He asked me if I had anyone in mind. And you suggested Sarah? Yeah. Sarah Appa loved reading books. She attended several literature festivals in India. I asked her. The organizers had offered to pay for her flight and stay, as they said they were doing for some other chosen students. Appa jumped at the offer. And that is why she went to Pakistan? Yes. Hashim Bhai met her in Karachi. He sent some gifts back for me. He gave her a small trolley filled with clothes and snacks. And Saurabh said, listening to Sikandar's every word. They switched the trolley in the drop-off car to the airport. Under a layer of clothes, they filled it with cocaine. 8 kilos of it. 8 kilos of cocaine, Saurabh whistled. Isn't that huge? Worth around 5 crore rupees. It is one of the way Tariq funds itself. It was my first big contribution to Tariq, Sikandar said. I sighed. There are worse places to work in this world than Chandan classes, I thought, like organizations that fund themselves with drug money. You used your own sister as a drug mule? I didn't know it was so wrong at that time, and Hashim Bhai planned it too well. Nobody suspected her at customs. She did bring the goods home, so that makes it okay. She would have spent her life in jail if customs had stopped her. A young girl from IIT coming back from a books festival. Nobody would suspect her, Hashim Bhai told me. Are you serious? What if they did? I said, my voice rising. He did not respond. I took a deep breath to suppress my anger and not slap this overgrown stupid off. Saurabh held my wrist, signaling me to calm down. Okay, so what happened next? Saurabh said. I went to collect the bag from Appa, but before I reached, she had opened it. She found out about the drugs? I said yes, and she scolded me a lot, even slapped me. I had to tell her who I worked for. I tried to explain that Hashim Bhai was doing so much good. What did she say? She refused to listen. She said I had to cut off from these people. She wanted me to take the bag to the police. Did you go? No, I couldn't let Hashim Bhai down. And she was fine with that? Of course not. But I lied to her. I said, let me deliver this one bag so they leave me alone. And then I will quit the group. And you didn't? He gazed at the floor again. I couldn't quit our great cause. He said, whatever the hell he meant by great cause. You think it is okay to work for someone who sells drugs? We have no choice. We are fighting powerful governments to do a great good. Sometimes you have to do a little bad, he said in a rehearsed tone. Hashim said this. Yeah, at that time I didn't realize Sarah Appa had kept a packet. Anyway, I don't do drug related stuff at Tariq now. I work in recruitment. I heard the word recruitment and my instinct was to ask if they were hiring and whether I could apply. I scolded and reminded myself that working here wasn't an option. Were you in touch with her just before she died? No, not much, just the occasional call. She asked me to forget all this nonsense and look for a job. In fact, she gave me your example one. Of course, she didn't know I had not left Tariq. My example? I said, curious. She said, look at me, Sikandar. I followed my passion with Keshav and never realized that practical life mattered. It led me now here. Finally, I had to make a practical choice in Raghu. Practical? I also didn't fully understand. She said she did love Raghu a lot now, but had ultimately been practical in choosing him. His family would have no issue with Sarah or something. Why did she tell you this? I said, to tell me that sometimes our hurt lead us to wrong places. Tariq is where my heart was. She wanted me to use my head and get another job. I said, I guess I was the wrong place her heart had led her to. Yet it felt good to hear that it was her heart's choice and not the practical one. Fine, Saurabh said. Anything else you want to share that could be useful to us? Nothing I can think of. I haven't told all this to anyone. Can I go now? I nodded. Sikandar stood up to leave. Sorry, one more question, Saurabh said. What? The selfie with Sarah. When was that taken? Sarah Appa came to meet me in Delhi. Why do you have a machine gun? I show new recruitment. How to use a gun? Sit down, Sikandar, I said, as my mind stopped replaying the words. Sometimes our hurt lead us to wrong places and came back to the murder case. Why? He said. He continued to stand with his arm crossed. You think we are idiots? What happened? You said you told Sarah you had left Tariq. Yeah. So why she smiling in this picture when she comes to see you and find you with a machine gun? I said. I need to go. You also said this picture is jinxed. Why? Saurabh said. Sikandar winced. He held his head. I get migraines. Sorry. We are not done yet, I said. And trust me, you would rather we question you than the police. I need to go rest. Can we talk later? When? Tomorrow. He nodded and sniffed like a child. Yes, call me tomorrow, Sikandar said and walked out of the restaurant. We should have brought more warm clothes, Saurabh said. He rubbed his hands. The Heaven Hotel in Pahalgam, where we were staying, had set up a campfire on its lawns. Saurabh and I sat there post-dinner. Something is not right about Sikandar, I said. Relax, give him some time. He will open up, Saurabh said. He is devious, I said. He pretended to be naive and stupid. He is not. Maybe he is nervous, Saurabh said. Nonsense, I think it is time we confronted the truth. What truth? Saurabh said, his rough face glowing in the campfire. That he may be family. May say all emotional things, be a little dumb, but the little stepbrother is no innocent baby. In fact, he is the prime suspect. What make you say that? Saurabh said. He was sitting so close to the fire. I felt he would combust any moment. Sit back from the flame, I said. Fine, Saurabh said, moving back 3 inches. Here is what I think happened. Sikandar became a terrorist. Sarah found out, tried to stop him several times, but he didn't listen. Sarah finally lost her patience, decided to go to the police, and Sikandar comes and kills her before that. Saurabh said, yes, possible. Explains why she would open the window too. It was for her stepbrother after all. I snapped my fingers exactly. What about the picture? Why is Sarah smiling? She could have felt pressured or wait. She could be collecting proof for the police. That is why she kept the bullet and cocaine. Saurabh said. Bang on. Yeah, that is it. She was collecting evidence. She wanted to go to police because the brother wouldn't stop. Sikandar found out and killed her. But he loved his sister, Saurabh said. If Hashim Bai told him killing her was for some great good, what do you think this idiot would do? Saurabh scratched his cheek before he spoke again. Kill. He stared at each other for a few seconds. Everything added up and the theory made things fall into place. We high-fived. We got him. Called Inspector Rana. We will need his help, I said. Yes, I had the killer. The glow from the fire warmed not only my face but also my insides. Chapter 22. Keep him engaged, Saurabh said. No more questions, just be friendly. I nodded. We had come to the reception lobby of Heaven Hotel. I dialed Sikandar's number from the hotel landline. Salam, Sikandar Bhai, I said when I heard someone pick up the call. Kaun, Janab? It did not sound like Sikandar. Is Sikandar there? This is his friend, Keshav. You are Sikandar's friend? Yes, I said. Are you in Pahalgam? Yeah, I said. Can you come here? Moonview Resort? Where is Sikandar? He is here. Can you come? Yeah, sure. Who are you? Ahmad. Come soon, please. Saurabh and I walked towards Moonview Resort, which was around a kilometer away from Heaven. We had called Inspector Rana the previous night, updating him about Sikandar being the prime suspect. You guys restarted that Sarah case and went to Kashmir. Mad Ashik you are, is what he said first. Fortunately, he listened to our entire story and finally agreed to help us. If for nothing else but concern for our safety, get the hell out of there as soon as you can. Kashmir isn't Hoskas and no more meeting that Sikandar alone, he said before ending the call. I called Rana again. We are on our way to meet him at a Moonview Resort, I said, panting due to the steep climb. I already informed Sub-Inspector Saraf at the local Felham police station. He is ready when you need him. He should came there with us now, I said. Relax, you sound tense, Rana said as I continue my climb. Of course, I am tense. Someone called Ahmad picked up his phone. He told us to come to Moonview Resorts. Oh, there are other people there? Yeah, I said. Then definitely. Let's Saraf reach first. Don't go in alone. You guys are such idiots. You should have told me before planning a trip to Kashmir. Sorry, sir. Yes, we will wait for him, I said. And listen, Keshav. Yes, Inspector Rana, I said. I expected thanks and some words of praise as we had taken huge risk but might have finally solved the case. Once the police get Sikandar, call me first. I want to break this to the media. I don't want Saraf talking to anyone. The gay-haired Inspector Saraf stepped out of the police jeep that seemed even older than him. Two constables accompanied him. All of them were in plain clothes to avoid any suspicion. Saurabh and I met the three of them at an empty parking lot outside Moonview Resorts. Stay calm. Pretend to be normal guests at the hotel, Inspector Saraf said. A very bearded man in his 30s manned the reception desk. I am Keshav. Is someone called Ahmad here? I am Ahmad, the man said. I am the manager here. You are Sikandar's friend who called. Then he noticed the plainclothes cop and Saurabh. Who are all these people? He said. My friends, I said. Where is Sikandar? Follow me. Ahmad and I walked up to a room on the second floor. Saurabh, Inspector Saraf and his two men walked a few steps behind us. The corridors of Moonview Resort did not get much sunlight and were cold. Ahmad used a master key to enter the room at the end. He switched on the yellow ceiling light. Sikandar lay on the bed, face covered in blood, his gun next to him. Oh, Saurabh gasped out loud. The lower half of Sikandar's face was disfigured beyond recognition. A putrid smell came from his body, which mixed with the musty smell of the hotel carpet, making it difficult to breathe. I saw his blown-off face and turned numb. Everyone around me seemed to move in slow motion. A white noise in my ears blocked out all other sounds. Inspector Saraf calmly picked up Sikandar's wrist as if picking up a TV remote. Dead, Inspector Saraf said. Shot himself in the mouth. I called you here because I don't want to deal with any of this, Ahmad said. This hotel is all I have to make a living. If news gets out about a suicide here, Inspector Saraf cut in. When did you find the body? Housekeeping found it 3 hours ago. I told them to keep quiet. I kept his cell phone, hoping someone would call. You did. When did he first arrive here? 5 days ago. Can you please take care of his body or inform his family? I don't want to police here, please, Ahmed said, his composure cracking. We are the police, Inspector Saraf said. We took out his ID card. Ahmed fell at Inspector Saraf's feet. I don't know anything about this, please, Sahib. Inspector Saraf grabbed Ahmed's shoulders and pulled him back up. You know who he was or what he did? No, Sahib, Ahmed said. Inspector Saraf slapped Ahmed. I don't know why the police think it is okay to go around slapping people, particularly from a lower economic or less powerful class. You guys know these people are terrorists. Still you give this room. You don't inform the police, Inspector Saraf said. Ahmed had tears in his eyes. Sahib, we locals have no choice, he said, hands folded. They come and leave whenever they shows us a gun if we refuse. The police and the army show us a gun if we allow them to stay. What are we doing? I have little children. Do you hate India too? Inspector Saraf said, as if Ahmed would own up if he did. No, Sahib. I make my living from Indian tourists. Why would I hate them? What did this man do in the first few days? Saraf said, pointing to Sikandar. He would go out every day for a few hours. Sometimes he would meet young boys in the lobby, recruiting new terrorists. I don't know, Sahib. Did you find anything in the room? We didn't touch anything, Ahmed said. You can check whatever you want. Keshav, are you there? Inspector Saraf said, snapping his fingers in front of my eyes. He had already said my name 3 times before I paid attention. My eyes went back to Sikandar's mangled face. The same face I had spoken to yesterday. Sorry, Inspector, what is it? The prime suspect you wanted me to arrest is dead. Yeah, I said, unable to speak in a coherent manner. I saw Saurabh's face contort. He ran to the bathroom. I heard him vomit. Call an ambulance. Remove the body, Inspector Saraf said to one of the constables. He turned to another one and checked the room for any suicide notes. I sat down on the study chair in the room. Saurabh's pucking sound were making me feel nauseous too. One of the constables lifted the pistol on the bed to check the underneath. He also opened the desk drawers. If people leave the room, I can search better, the constable said. Saurabh and I sat on a sofa in the lobby, both of us unable to talk. Inspector Saraf sat across from us and spoke to someone on a phone. Half an hour later, the constable who was searching the room came downstairs. He had an envelope in his hand. Found this in his pocket. He said, it says, for Hashim Bhai. Please give it to any of my brothers at Tariq. They will come looking for me. Inspector Saraf opened the envelope. He found a sheet of paper inside. It only had a handwritten web address on it. www.bit.ly. Alvida Tariq. What is this? Inspector Saraf said. It is an abbreviated web link. Let us check, Saurabh said, finally finding his voice. Saurabh typed in the web address on the desktop computer at the hotel. The page redirected to a private YouTube video which showed Sikandar sitting in the same room where we had found him dead. He mumbled some prayers and then spoke into camera. Hashim Bhai, Maafi, I let you down. Some people are after me. They will hand me over to the police for a crime I never did, of murdering my own appa. Allah Kasam. Sarah Appa was like my second mother. I didn't do anything. If the police catch me, they will torture me until I tell them more. Not just about Appa, but also about the Eric's activities and mission. I just cannot let myself be in that situation. I would rather give up my life than put you all in danger. I am happy to sacrifice myself for the greater good, as you taught us. I feel sad I won't be there to see the smile on your face when Kashmir finally become free. I love you, Hashim Bhai, and the Tariq family. Please take care of my Ammi. I know you will. Sarah Appa, I will see you in Jannat soon. With you gone, one less reason to be on earth for me. For the rest, Huda Hasif. Sikandar mumbled another prayer. A few seconds later, he pulled out a gun. He placed the nozzle in his mouth. My eyes scrunched and my face stiffened in anticipation of what would happen next. However, he simply waved and the video paused. Of course, he had to stop recording, upload the video and create the link before he shot himself. Wow, Saurabh said, his mouth open after the video ended. Suicide notes have become high-tech, Inspector Saurav said. 1 hour later, the constable and the hotel staff had loaded Sikandar's body into an ambulance in the parking lot. Take him to the morgue. Keep it quiet. Just inform his mother, Inspector Saurav said. He turned to speak to Ahmad once the ambulance left the hotel compound. He was a rat who died. Nothing to investigate here. Clean up your hotel and inform us if anyone like him ever come to stay here. I will, Sahib. Thank you. Sahib, Allah Gair. Ahmad melted back into the hotel. The two constables who came with Saraf got into the jeep. Only Saraf, Saurabh and I remained in the parking lot. Don't look like he killed his stepsister, Saraf said, stroking his chin. I nodded. They never lie at the end, Saraf said, getting into the police jeep. He stuck his head out of the window. May I say one thing? Saraf said. Sure, sir, I said. Investigation is not anyone's cup of tea. One should stick to what one is capable of. Say something, bye, Saurabh said. You haven't spoken all day. Did you check the flights back or not? I said. The bus taking us back from Pahalgam to Srinagar spiraled down the hilly road. I closed my eyes. The view of Kashmir's blue skies and snow-capped mountains meant nothing to me anymore. I wanted to go home. 6 flights to Delhi every day. Getting back is not an issue, Saurabh said. We became quiet again. I know, I sucked as an engineer and teacher. I now realized I sucked as a detective too. Maybe this was really why Sarah left me. She saw the perennial loser in me. I couldn't deliver to her earlier. Now I couldn't even deliver on one promise I had made to her, to find her killer. What are you thinking, by? Saurabh said after half an hour. That I hope Chandan classes still has a job for us. I tossed my sweaters into the suitcase. Did you buy the tickets? I said. I am packed. Internet is not working, neither on Nizam Bai's SIM nor the Wi-Fi. Fine, we will buy them at the airport, I said. I noticed Saurabh's clothes still hanging in his closet. What is this? I said. I told you to pack. Saurabh came to stand in front of me in this white sweater. He looked like a polar bear. Polar bear placed his paws on my shoulders. First Sarah, then Sikandar. It is scary, but to run away like this, he said. I am not scared. I am leaving because I don't think I am capable of doing this or anything in life, really. Nonsense. We had a setback. It doesn't mean we quit. I shrugged. Anyway, there is nothing left for us to do here. Why? We still haven't found the killer. I walked away from him and sat on the bed. I spoke without looking at him. We can't. We are not smart enough. Saurabh came and sat next to me. We came too close. He said, his voice soft. No, we did not. We were miserably wrong, and Sikandar died because of me. What? Saurabh said, his mouth open. I pushed him and threatened to report him. That is why he killed himself, even though he didn't kill Sarah. He was a terrorist, a rat. That is what Inspector Sarah said. He was Sarah's brother. Would she have ever forgive me for this? And his mother waiting at home for him. Saurabh placed his hand on mine. I really thought Sikandar did it. I thought I had the evidence. Our theory added up. I said to myself, I had zero doubt too. I wanted to do this right, Golu, and not just for Sarah. For once I wanted to win. I never ever fucking win. I kicked my suitcase in disgust. The cover of the unzipped trolley flew open. The upper flap of the suitcase had the packet with the content of Sarah's safe. All this, I said, pointing it. Just nonsense. Who did we think we were? Some Desi, Holmes and Watson Jody? A loser like me can't get a coding job at a body shop. How can I solve a complex murder case? Stop calling yourself a loser, boy. You are not. Have you ever seen me achieve anything remarkable? You made it to IIT. A flock evolution mistake happened. A computer error. Stop it, boy. We killed an innocent man. A terrorist is dead. We did the country a favor. I looked at Saurabh. He shrugged. Bastard would have only taught more people how to kill. Anyway, what is there for us to do now? I sighed. Let us go back to the basics. Look at Sarah's digital footprints. We didn't check her Instagram posters properly. There is nothing there. Her Instagram is like that of any other 20-something girl. Let us go through it again, based on what we know now. Also, we got lost in the big stuff in the safe, like the cocaine and the bullet. What about the rest of the items? Like what? These pregnancy kits, Saurabh said, opening the packet that held the safe's contents. That bastard Raghu and Sarah must have been fucking without protection. What else? Saurabh looked at me sternly. Bye, control yourself. She is dead now and you loved her. Sorry, I mumbled. I am stressed. And what about these earrings? Saurabh said. We never considered them so far. They look expensive. I held the earrings in my palm. Each of the gold earrings had a dangling pendant the size of a 10-rupee coin. The pendants had an inlay of diamonds and precious stones. Sunlight fell through the window of the houseboat's room, making the gems glisten. Nizam knocked on our door. Janab, may I disturb? I said, looked up. Sure, Nizam bhai, Saurabh said, quickly placing a pillow on the pregnancy kits. Just wanted to say the internet is working again. Government shut it down after stone pelting yesterday. It is back now, Nizam said. What? More stone pelting? I said, don't ask, Janab. We are sick and tired. People were only protesting because 2 innocent boys were picked up by the Indian Army last week. News like this reduces tourist flow. I suffer, Nizam said. I can understand, I said. Anyway, glad the internet is back. Nizam noticed the earring in my hand. MashaAllah, Nizam said. What beautiful jimkis. You are taking them for Babi? Babi is dead, I almost said, but try to smile instead. These are typically Kashmiri, right? Definitely, 100% Kashmiri, Nizam said and extended his hand. May I? Nizam sat on the bed next to me and took the earrings in his hands. He lifted them close to his eyes. Very fine work. Must be really expensive. Only in Kashmir will you get something like this. They belong to a friend, Saurabh said. We wanted to get another pair. Any idea where? These days jewelers all over India will copy any design for you, Nizam said. But if you want them to be truly authentic, like this one, they should come from one of the top shops in Srinagar. Which ones? Saurabh said. I can give you a list of local jewelers, Nizam said, and tell them Nizam from Shelter Houseboats sent you. They will help and save you better. Thanks, I said. So what happened at the protest? Saurabh said, changing topic to take Nizam's attention away from the earrings. The army retaliated, which they say they did in self-defense. Like always, they fired back with those nasty pellet guns. Some kids were hit in the ears. They may go deaf. Only made things worse. People are now even more upset with the army. The army cuts internet. The cycle continues. Nizam sounded resigned. Yeah, Guda. When will this ever end? What for dinner tonight? I said, invoking my no politics rule before it became too late. But Nizam wouldn't stop. How does the rest of India live in peace? They can't be find the way to. Keshav, bye. We can. By the way, will you give us the list of jewelry shop by tomorrow? Oh, Nizam said, surprised at my switching to the mundane topic. After all, we did seem awfully close to solving the Kashmir problem, which experts and world leaders hadn't been able to for the last 70 years. I will give it you by dinner, actually. I better go check things in the kitchen. We are making our special biryani tonight. Nizam returned the earrings to me and left the room. Saurabh looked at me and smiled. What? I said. The internet is back. Should I book the next flight out? Wait, why? I think we should visit some jewelry shop. Why? Saurabh said with a sly smile. Maybe to buy a pair of earrings for my Barbie, I said, and winked at Saurabh. Tinder Barbie, you mean? Both of us laughed for the first time that day. Chapter 23. We can make this for you, no problem. And yeah, we know Nizam Bhai. A lot of customers come from this houseboat. Yes, he sent us. Anyway, I know you can make them. But did you make this particular set of earrings? I said. We had come to Akun Jewelers to Said Hamir Ora, our fourth shop, since we had started on our hunt that morning. Sir, we will make better than this. How much did you buy these for? The salesperson said. You did not make this right? Saurabh said and turned to leave. Stay, sir, he said. He signaled to one of the shop boy who served us to cup of hot kava and a plate of dates. Be our guest, Janab. You don't have to buy anything, the salesperson said. Can you tell us if these were made in Srinagar? I said. The salesperson held one of the earrings. Definitely, wherever it is made. The karigar is Kashmiri. The detail on the design tells me. An elderly man in a skull cap and a white kurta, presumably the owner of Akun Jewelers, got up from his chair in a corner of the shop and shuffled up to us. Show me, the owner said. He brought the earrings close to his face, narrowing his eyes. He took out a magnifying glass from his pocket. No, not ours, but it is from this area, I know. Karigars who make this, he said, after examining the earrings. Thank you, I said. Give us a chance. We will make you better ones, he said. His wife wants us to go to the same place. I pointed to Saurabh. Saurabh smiled slyly. In his puffy red sweater, he did look like a henpecked husband. Oh, up to you, the owner said, a tinge of disappointment in his voice. Uncle, can you help us find who made it? I said. It is expensive, so must be a top jewelry shop. Is there a shop mark? He turned to his salesperson. Get the microscope. The salesperson went to the back of the shop. How much would something like this cost? I said to the owner. 3, maybe 4 lakh rupees. The owner said. I am Hafiz, by the way. We shook heads. The salesperson returned with a compound microscope. Hafiz placed an earring under the microscope and looked into the viewfinder, moving the earring up and down. He shook his head. Give me the other one, Hafiz said. He placed the second earring under the lens. Many jewelers put their mark, such as their initial, on expensive items, Hafiz said, one eye peeping into the viewfinder. There it is, SJ. What is SJ? Saurabh said. Hafiz returned the earring to us. Let us see. SJ should be Sona Jewelers, which my friend owns. There is S. Kerm Singh Jewelers, opposite Hanuman Mandir. There is Salam Jewelers on Hari Singh High Street. Hafiz said, these are the shops with SJ initials that I can think of. Saurabh took out the list of jewelers Nasim had given us from his pocket. There is more. Shabnam Jewelers at Lal Chowk, Shaukat Jewelers on the Srinagar Ladakh Highway. He said, going down the list. Good luck in your search. If you can't find the same shop, we are always here, Hasif said and smiled. No, this is not made here, Sona Jewelers, the shop owner said the moment he picked up the earrings. Not from our shop, said the salesgirl in a hijab at Shabnam Jewelers. 4 other shops with the initial SJ turned us down that day. 3 more SJs left, Saurabh said. We ate rusk and drink kava at a roadside tea shop as we took a break between our shop visits. Well, last few tries. Otherwise, time to took a flight back to Delhi, I guess, I said, dipping my rusk in the kava. We just want to know if your shop made this earring, I said, passing them to the owner of Shaukat Jewelers. He sat cross-legged behind the counter. The brightly lit shop dazzled with all the jewelry on the walls. These, the shopkeeper said, taking the earring in his hands, and ran a finger on top of them. Yes, of course, the shopkeeper said and laughed. This is Shaukat Jewelers' finest work. Hearing the word yes, after 4 days, I almost collapsed on the spot. The shopkeeper looked startled by my obvious relief. What happened? He put out a hand. I am Shaukat. I shook his hand. I can't tell you how happy we are to meet you. Shaukat laughed. The pleasure is mine. Actually, you want more jewelry? You have come to the right place. He gave us what was our 6th cup of kava of the day. He held the earring up against the light. Look at the work. Exquisite, Shaukat said. How did you make this for? I said. Shaukat looked at me surprised. I don't understand. They don't belong to you? They belong to a friend. She is no more, I said. Shaukat touched the tip of his earlobes with his right hand and mumbled a prayer. I am sorry to hear what happened to her. Saurabh and I looked at each other. Accident, Saurabh said. Yeah, Kuda, what can I do for you? Her parents found the earring in her room, but they didn't recognize them. We happened to be visiting Srinagar. They told us to check who might have given them to her. I said. You know parents? Saurabh said. Though I am not sure what it meant. I guess the moment you say, you know parents, You are allowed to drop some logic. Shaukat looked at us with some hesitation. The parents are quite disturbed by their daughter's death, as you can imagine. We just want to do our bit to help them, I said. But look like we found a good shop. Buy. For our family needs also. We have a good jeweler now, Saurabh said to me. That seemed to convince the shop owner. He nodded and picked up a microscope from a shelf above his seat. He examined the earring again. Definitely ours, has the shop mark, he said, head bent over the microscope. That is how we came here, SJ, I said. Shaukat kept the microscope aside. Yes, but I don't remember selling them. Could be one of my two sons or my nephew, the main salesperson. Do you mind asking them? I said. They're just stepping out for some bank work. Should be back soon. You can wait here. We waited at Shaukat Jewellers for over 2 hours before a founder arrived outside the shop. 3 men in their 20s, each with a French beard, stepped out of the vehicle. So late, Shaukat pointed at his watch. Army had closed the roads, full of checking, chavos and traffic jams all over. One of the men said, "Screw the Indian Army," said another man. "Talk with some Tamils. We have guests," Shaukat said, pointing to us. "Hi, I am Mohsin, Shaukat's Chacha's nephew," said the man who had just cursed the Indian Army. "Sorry, I didn't mean to." "It is okay. I am Keshav. This is Saurabh. I am Ali, and this is my brother Salim," said one of the other men. "They are my sons," Shaukat said and smiled. Shaukat asked them about our earrings. They passed the earring to each other one by one. "I don't remember selling this," Ali said. "Me neither," Mohsin said. "Show me," Salim said. He took the earring. "When was this purchased?" he said. "Sometime in the last few years maybe," I said. "It looks antique." "But it is not. A good replica of an old Kashmiri design," Mohsin said. "Oh yes, I remember now." "Remember what?" Saurabh and I both spoke at the same time. Everyone looked at us, surprised by our excitement. "Arey, that man, he looked Fauji, all tall and fit and Kadak," he said. "He wanted to recreate his daddy's earring," Mohsin said. "I remember you discussing it," Ali said, "but can't recollect the customer." "I don't," Mohsin said. "He paid cash. Give me the cash sales book." Ali opened the drawer under the cash counter. He took out a carbon copy lined notebook. He had pink and white pages filled with handwritten scribbles. He passed it to Mohsin. "This must have cost about 3 lakh rupees. Let me see all high value sales in my handwriting," Mohsin said. He started flipping through the sheet of the notebook in a furious manner. He finished one notebook. Ali passed him another one. 5 minutes later, Mohsin paused and tapped his finger on a particular page. "1 year ago, see," Mohsin said, and held up the notebook for Shaukat to look at. The open page had an outline of the design of the same earring. "Correct," Shaukat said. "Yes. See, 3,80,000 diamond sapphire Kundan, 22 karat gold, Rs 2 lakh advance, delivery after a week, 28 May 2017, paid balance all cash." I looked at Shaukat, somewhat confused. "Someone brought them in May last year." "Yes," Mohsin said. "Who?" Mohsin looked at his notebook again. He shook his head. "He didn't leave a name," he said. "Any contact detail?" I said. "No. He just gave an advance for the earring. We gave him a temporary receipt. Later he came again to pay the balance and collect the earrings." "You sell such expensive items without knowing the customer's name?" Saurabh said. "In our business, we have all kinds of customers. Some become our family friends. Others want to stay discreet. We respect that, Shaukat said, tugging at his white beard. Do you remember what he looks like? I said to Mohsin. I do. Handsome man. He looked Kashmiri, fair, 6 feet tall at least. I told you. He looked Hoji, Mohsin said. Did he come in uniform? Saurabh said. No, just the gate. Fujis have an andas, Mohsin said. In fact, yes. I think he came in a military green vehicle the second time. Saurabh looked around the shop. He noticed cameras on the ceiling. Shaukat Bhai, will you have CCTV footage from May last year? Saurabh said. No. Salim said. CCTV backup only remains for 2 months. Why? Is everything okay? Yes, of course, Saurabh said and stood up. Nothing of concern. I just thought if we could see the person. I am sorry. The hard drive deletes everything older than 60 days, Salim said. Thank you so much, I said. I folded my hands. Saurabh and I stood up to leave. If you ever want to sell this bag to us, Shaukat said, we can give you a good price. The flimsy wooden bed of the houseboat creaked as Saurabh turned on his side. It was close to midnight. I placed my laptop on my stomach as I surfed random websites. Earring worth 3,80,000, Saurabh said. Who gives such a gift? Parents, I said, but they didn't. Or a lover, Saurabh said. Raghu, I said. I can check with him. Yes, but Mohsin said. Fair, 6 feet tall and fit. Nothing like Raghu. He even said, handsome. That is definitely not Raghu, I said. Sikandar, Saurabh said. Nobody gives their sister earring this costly. Also, Sikandar was skinny and short, not what Mohsin discreted. Maybe Sikandar sent someone, or hell, Raghu is rich. He could have sent someone. I can check with Raghu easily. I said. I took out my phone and sent him a hi on WhatsApp. Hey Keshav, long time, what is up? He replied within a minute. Just wanted to check something to you. Sure, Raghu said. Where are you? I am in San Francisco. Just landed. Wow, that is far. Yeah, I literally came down for like one investor meeting. Oh, what time is it there? He replied after 5 minutes. Noon. Sorry, you seem busy. It is okay. I can chat a bit. My meeting hasn't started yet. Do you recall giving any expensive gift to Sarah? Not really. She never liked expensive things. I did give her an iPhone though. When? On her last birthday. Why? What is up? Working on the case? A little bit. Not much. So, no jewelry? I said. No, never. I only gave her touch stuff. Bluetooth speakers, headphones, that sort of things. Thanks. I typed back. Loser, I thought. Why? What happened? He said. How do I respond? I turned to Saurabh. Tell him her parents asked about the earring. Saurabh said. They would have just called him directly. I said. Wait, I have an idea. I WhatsApped Raghu again. Her hostel friend Sanam Rasdan called me. She said Sarah had kept a pair of earrings with her, which she received as a gift. Oh, really? Raghu said. Yeah. I texted back, unsure if Raghu believed me. I didn't give them. Maybe another girlfriend? They seem expensive, more than 3 lakh rupees. I took a picture of the earring and sent to him. He replied after 2 minutes. These are elaborate. Can't be just a friend. Exactly. Maybe her parents or a relative. Maybe. I said. I will give them to her parents. Can you? Please. Raghu replied. Of course. Thanks. Anyway, when are you back? I fly back later this afternoon. It is so hectic at work back home right now. Didn't you just land? Yeah, I only came for 6 hours. Have to get back. We have a new product launch tomorrow. Wow, crazy trip. Going to the US from India. for a few hours. I am used to it. Do such a trip all the time. Anyway, I better get ready for my meeting. Sure, take care. Hey, Keshav. Raghu sent a message after a few seconds. Yeah, thank you. I know I have judged you harshly before, but thank you for whatever you tried to do or are doing to help. I haven't done anything. I have failed so far, actually. You are still trying. To be frank, I am still scared. My parents too are paranoid and keep constant taps on me, but you are not afraid. Thanks. No issues. I judged you badly too. You are a nice guy. Thanks, buddy. Cheers. I didn't know how to respond. I sent back 2 smileys in response. Are you going to send him a hug and a kiss too? Saurabh said when he saw my message. What? I said, keeping my phone away. What is this? Love fest between the exes? Are you getting possessive after about me talking to Raghu? What nonsense. You are my Golu baby. I love you, man. Shut up. Come to the point. If not Raghu, who gave Sarah the earring? I scratched my head. I don't know, I said. What do we do now? You think Saxena gave them to her? Are you kidding? No IIT professor is romantic enough or rich enough to afford this, I said. So who? We have to figure out who was in Sarah's life in any way. I opened Instagram on my phone and gave it to Saurabh. What? Saurabh said. You said we should go through her social media again. Let us do that. Look for someone tall and fit like a Fuji. Yes, sir. I saluted Saurabh. Fair and handsome too. Who is more handsome than you? Keshav Bhai. Right. Saurabh said and grinned. Very funny. Focus. Let us go through the posters, I said. Saurabh opened Sarah's posters one at a time. Okay, the last post just before she died is a picture of Raghu in the Hyderabad hospital. Read the caption, I said. Birthdays are no fun when your bae is injured far away. Miss you, my Raghu, Saurabh said. I shook my head. Actually, let us look at Sarah's posters from the start. Right, when she joined Instagram. Otherwise, it won't make sense, I said. Saurabh selected the first picture from Sarah's account. Okay, Saurabh said. First post on the day she opened her account. 12 September 2013. We were together then. Is it our picture? It is a picture of Ruby, Saurabh said. Her dog. Oh, next one, please, I said. The month later, a picture of her blog on Kashmir. What is the blog title? Why we can never give up. One piece in Kashmir. We will have to open the blog in a new tab though. Should I? Saurabh said. I shook my head. Next post, I said. Another month later, a picture of her hostel room. The caption is The Girl in Room 105. My peace, my world. Oh yes, I remember. She had come back from Alwar, stressed. Then on 1st January 2014, it is picture of a quote. When you lose something, don't think of it as a loss. Accept it as a gift that gets you on the path you were meant to travel on, Saurabh said. Of course, we broke up the night before, remember? On New Year's Eve. The next post is in April 2014. It is a picture of her at a conference. Comment is amazed and inspired at the Global Artificial Intelligence Conference. That is where she met the bastard Raghu, I know. I thought you liked the bastard now and sent him smileys, Saurabh said. Shut up. That is after this. The next month, a picture of her and Raghu at another conference. What does the caption say? My good friend Raghu started his own AI company after IIT. Fortunate to be in the same college as such inspiring people. Good friend. My us, I said. Why, it is impressive. He started his own AI company. I kicked Saurabh's fat butt with my foot. Oh, that hurt. Okay, the next post is a picture of two pairs of feet on the beach. The hashtag says journey together, which means this is when they started doing it. Yeah, those are Sarah's and Raghu's feet, probably just after sex. Bye. Focus. We are trying to find something. Sorry, I said. I let out a huge breath. This is tough. Go on. Nothing for a while. Then pictures from the Jaipur Lit Fest. She always liked to go there. Even we went once. Next post on 9 February 2015. Her birthday. Yeah, says birthday special. Super busy. Plans, surprise trip to Goa. Smileys, kiss emojis, hug emojis, too many exclamation marks. Fools in love, keep going. The next few posters are from a family holiday in Kerala. Then a blog on the handicraft of Kashmir. After that, pictures from another literature festival, the Bangalore Literature Festival. Then I said, okay, see this. 9th February 2016. A picture of a gift hamper, chocolates, wine, cookies, Bluetooth headphones says, surprise and spoils me again. Bye. Why does she call Raghu B? B is what some people call their lover. B. Sound rude? No. Only in Hindi. Leave that. What is next? 15th August 2016. Another Kashmir blog picture. Independence Day special report from an army camp in Kashmir. Wait. Open the actual blog in a new tab. Saurabh clicked on a blog titled Sarah's Valley Musings. It had a background picture of snow-capped mountains. The blog described Sarah's visit to an army camp in Baramulla district in Kashmir. She had interviewed various servicemen with the local army commander's permission. The servicemen spoke about their daily routine and their special projects such as rescue work and keeping the valley safe. One of the soldiers said, the job is tough, but the insults and hostility from the locals, that is the hardest part. The blog also had a few pictures from the camp. These included a tent with the backdrop of the spectacular sunset, one of the soldiers having tea, and another on an army officer in uniform. The officer wore Ray-Ban sunglasses and stood proudly next to an Indian flag. Nice blog, Saurabh said. Yeah, I said and posted. I tapped at the officer's picture. Saurabh, who is that? Oh, this dude, Ray-Ban and all. He is tall, isn't he? Yes, of course. Oh, is he Mr. Fair and handsome? He looks familiar. I have seen him before, I said. You sure? Saurabh said. Yeah, 100%, I said. With Sarah? No, yes. I saw him at Sarah's funeral. Remember when Safdar uncle insulted me? This guy was standing next to Sarah's father. Uncle thanked him for leaving duty and coming all the way for the funeral. I thought hard. Face. His name is Face. You heard his name before? Yes. Sarah mentioned him once. His Captain Face Khan. Sarah senior from school. They are family friends. Saurabh zoomed in on the army officer's picture. Could he have bought them? Shaukat Jewellers can confirm it. Saurabh took a screenshot of the army officer's picture on my phone. He then went back to Sarah's Instagram. After the vlog, there are pictures from the Karachi Literature Festival, he said. We already saw those. I said nothing after that until her birthday on 9th February 2017, a picture of an iPhone 7 Plus. The one Raghu said he gave her. I said. Saurabh zoomed in on the picture. What are you doing? Nice phone. Trying to see how many GB of storage. Seriously? Focus Golu. Sorry. Okay. The next one is 3rd April 2017. A photo of a sunrise taken from the window of a houseboat. The hashtag is going with the flow. Strange after that. She has posted nothing for 6 months after that. Finally, in November 2017, she has a picture of a quote. Some memories last forever. Sarah and her love for quotes, I said and sighed, as her smiling face flashed in my mind, making me miss her again. I composed myself after that. It is New Year's Eve, 2017. She is wearing a black sari. Oh, this is the time you called her from Chandar's terrace. Remember that night's drama? I do, unfortunately. Go on, I said. Nothing after that is her final post. The picture of Raghu's plaster cast. Saurabh returned my phone and yawned. It is 2 in the morning. We have to check with Shaukat about the earrings. Let us hit the bed. Sherlock Janab. We will do it when we wake up. It is him, I said. I kept the phone on the dining table so Saurabh could see. The army officer in the block. What is his name? Face. He bought the earrings. See, my chat with Mohsin. I had sent him face picture on WhatsApp. Saurabh looked at my phone. Mohsin had replied, definitely him. Wow, why is Sarah senior from school buying her such pricey earring? Saurabh said. Also, why doesn't her fiancé have an idea about it? I said. Saurabh and I looked at each other, confused about what to next. Let us try and meet face, I said. How? Saurabh said. I will check with Safdar uncle. He will have his contacts. I said. Chapter 24. I can drive you up the camp gate. However, I have to park half a kilometer away. Army rules, the taxi driver said. The journey from Srinagar to Baramulla had taken us 2 hours. We stepped out of the hired white Innova at the Baramulla Army camp entrance. Captain Face, in olive green uniform and dark Ray-Ban aviators, waited for us at the gate. Welcome Keshav, he said. He seemed taller than I remembered him from the funeral, maybe because of his army boots. He had epaulets and several commendation badges pinned on his shirt pocket. He shook hands, or rather he crushed my hand in his. He is your friend who wanted to see an army camp? Face said, looking at Saurabh. I nodded and introduced Saurabh. I had taken Face's number from Safdar and asked him to arrange a meeting. I mentioned Saurabh as an Indian Army fan who wanted to see some army facilities during his vacation in Kashmir. Face took us to the visitors' lounge tent, located a few steps away from the camp entrance. Inside the tent, we sat on cane chairs arranged in a semicircle round a coffee table. A Kashmiri rug covered the muddy floor. This is our humble abode, Face said. From here, we try to keep our country safe. Thank you for that. As Keshav must have told you, I am a big admirer of the army, Saurabh said. We are honored. Face bowed a little. A Jawan came in with a tray of raisins, almond and kava. Please don't do all this. We are already imposing on you, I said. Not at all. It gets boring here. Nice to have some civilian visitors. I had to move the topic to Sarah, so sipping my kava, I said casually, this is the same place that Sarah wrote a blog about? Yeah, Face said. God bless her soul. What a bright and positive person she was. You went to school with her? I said. I was her senior. The Lawns are family friends. I saw you at the funeral. We never spoke, but you were with Sarah's father when I came to speak to him. Yeah, I remember you. Such a tragic day, Face said. I tried to sense fakeness in his voice, but couldn't. His sunglasses hid his eyes. making it more difficult to figure him out. I took another sip of my kava. I rubbed my right cheek. Our pre-decided cue, and Saurabh took the signal and excused himself to go to the toilet. You know, Sarah and I used to date, right? I said, after Saurabh left. Yes, Faye said. We weren't really in touch at that time. When did you last meet her? I said, my tone as non-interrogative as possible. Oh, I don't even remember. Over a year ago, at her house in Delhi, perhaps. You didn't talk to her. After that, just heard about her death. Maybe a catch-up call here and there. Nothing major. Why? I shook my head. I am still in shock, just wondering what happened. I said, the watchman, right? Awful. What kind of security is this? Yeah, it is terrible. The security of women has become a big issue. I nodded. I felt the earring poke my thigh from inside the pocket of my trousers. Saurabh returned from the bathroom. I switched topic. Don't it get lonely here, Captain? I said. It does. We aren't allowed to keep our families here. Where is your family? Saurabh said. My wife and kids are in Dubai right now. My brother-in-law lives there. Oh, I said and sat up straight. Saurabh and I exchanged a glance. What? Faye said. You look too young to be married, Saurabh said. Faye smiled. Thank you. I am 31. I have twin boys, 3 years old. I could not have guessed either, I said. The army keeps you fit. So, your wife lives in Dubai? I said. No, she is only there with her brother for 6 months. After that, formal school starts for the twins. Actually, the army has given us a home in Delhi. That is where we live. That is nice. The army take care of its people, I said. Yeah, it is a small flat in Arjun Vihar. But we have the ground floor with a small garden, which is great for the little ones. A garden is a luxury in Delhi, Saurabh said. It is just a small green patch. However, there is a large community of families from the armed force around, which helps a lot. Salma gets to meet many ladies and they complain about their absentee husbands. Face laughed. You visit Delhi often? I said. I go whenever duty allows, which isn't much, Faye said. You must miss them a lot, Saurabh said, grabbing a large handful of almonds from the plate on the coffee table. I miss them every day, Faye said and sighed. Every moment. He removed his sunglasses. His light grey eyes looked sad. He took out his mobile phone and showed us a picture of his family. His wife and 2 little boys stood next to Burj Khalifa, one of the tallest buildings in the world. Each boy had an ice cream cone in his hand. It is tough being in army. I said, yeah, Faye said, it is hard, but anything for any dash. You are so inspiring, Saurabh said, finishing the last almond in his left hand while using his right to pick up a fistful of raisins. I tried to give Saurabh a dirty look for picking up so much food, but he ignored me. Thank you, it is just love for dash, Faye said. We should leave. We have disturbed you enough, I said. All of us stood up. No disturbance at all, Faye said. Always nice to have visitors, especially those who value our work. Before you go, let me show you the parts of the camp that civilians are allowed into. We took a walk around the soldiers' tents and a firing range. After the tour, Faye saw us out to the camp gate. He and I walked together as Saurabh went a few steps ahead of us. I don't have the latest news. What is happening with Sarah's case? Faye said to me. Same, Lakshman is in custody. Trial yet to start, I said. It is him, right? Faye said. They haven't found any other suspect, so looks like it is Lakshman. I said. I put my hand in my pocket. My fingers touched the earrings. Bastard. I hope they give him the death penalty. Face it. Did Sarah ever mention anything else? I said. The captain stiffened. For the first time in our conversation, I saw discomfort. However, he recovered his seconds. Mention anything else, Asin, he said. Like, did she tell you she had any enemies or felt any danger? Not at all, Faye said, his voice calm. She was normal, excited about life. Why? Nothing. Like I said, I am still in shock. So am I. But these watchmen, I am telling you, they come from villages and are an uneducated lot. Private security guards are no army Javans. Of course, I said. We reached the camp gate. The driver had arrived with the car by then and Saurabh was already sitting in it. Did you know Sikandar well? I said to Face. He put his sunglasses on again. Her stepbrother? No. Sarah and I became friends only after she moved to Delhi. She loved him a lot, I said. Face shrugged. She was a loving person, did not deserve this end. Anyway, I think your driver is waiting. Why don't you just sit on the coals and get cooked? I said. We had come to Shikara restaurant, a short walk from our houseboat. The restaurant had outdoor seating on jute charpoys. Every bed had an angidi or a portable heater next to it. The temperature had dropped to 3 degrees Celsius. Saurabh sat inches away from the smoldering coals. He did not respond, only his teeth chattered. Let us go back to the houseboat, I said. Their dinner is fine. No, I am okay. I heard the Shazwan here is amazing, Saurabh said, blowing on his hands. The waiter saw Saurabh's dismal state and brought us 2 blankets. We wrapped one each around ourselves. 10 minutes later, Saurabh had thawed enough to talk. Something seemed odd about the captain, he said. I agree. Maybe it is because he did not mention the earrings. Otherwise, a family man, well-mannered, hospitable, polite, all nice, I said. Whenever someone is so nice, it is usually fishy. The waiter arrived with our food. Saurabh forgot about our conversation for the next 10 minutes as he focused on ripping apart sheermal and cleaning out plates of Rogan Josh, meth maize and saved cocker. Shazwan is the ultimate formal banquet in Kashmir. Elaborate Shazwan meals can have up to 3 dozen dishes. Most of them slow cooked overnight and served communal style. Do you want to hear my theory? I said. Saurabh burped in response. I took it as a yes. He liked Sarah, I said. Romantically? Yes. Sarah visited Kashmir. Meet Face. She does a blog on the army. Fine, Saurabh said. Then, one scenario is Face had a crush on Sarah, but Sarah wasn't interested. More likely is that she liked him back. They had an affair, Saurabh said. What? How? She was with Raghu. Face is married. As if love, or rather lust, cares about such things. Face is a good-looking man. Bye. Sarah had an affair with a married man, I said. Raw pain shot through me. I thought she hadn't come back to me because she was happy with Raghu, but she did have space for another man in her life after all, just not me. Yes, because I think just a crush cannot create murderous passion. An affair can. I didn't respond, as I was still digesting the possibility that Sarah could have cheated on Raghu. Keshav, what happened? Saurabh shook my leg. Nothing. Where were we? Sarah had an affair with Captain Face. I am quite sure of this. So, during the affair, Face gave her the earrings exactly before things went bad. How? Maybe Sarah wanted more and threatened to tell his wife. No, Sarah had Raghu. They had gotten engaged recently. Fair point. So maybe Sarah wanted to end it, but Face didn't, Saurabh said, his hands hovering dangerously close to the Angidi coal again. Sarah has an affair, regrets her lapse of judgment and goes back to Raghu. Captain can't take it. Gets jealous. Yeah, he sits in his army camp and lonely and angry, Saurabh said, and that is when he decided to kill her. Firni, Sahib, people kill for the Firni here, the waiter said, as he arrived with dessert. Here is fine. How do we prove Face did it? I said. We were eating breakfast at the houseboat dining table. Saurabh took 6 slices of toast on his plate and buttered them lovingly, one at a time. We have the earrings, Saurabh said. When did it become a crime to give gifts to someone? We need proper evidence. Accusing a serving army officer is not a joke. Rana won't even touch this until we get him solid proof. What do we do? Buy, Saurabh said after applying butter. He proceeded to apply jam on each of his toasts. Can you stop eating so much? What did you weigh last time? 96 kilos? 95 and a half. Anyway, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. One should eat it well, Saurabh said, and took a bit of his toast. Golu, you eat every meal too well, and you hardly eat, Saurabh said, taking a bit big enough to finish off half the toast. I have a plan. It may help us get real evidence. Promise you. Won't say no. Okay, what is it? Saurabh said as he picked up another toast. We need to go back to Delhi first, I said, and you need to stop eating more toast. It is a mad plan. I will never be a part of it, Saurabh said. We fastened our seatbelts. The flight to Delhi began to taxi on the Srinagar airport runway. It is not so crazy. We can do this. Frankly, it is the only way we can get the job done. Of getting the evidence, I said. Speaking of jobs, we may not have one when we arrive, Saurabh said. We had extended our vacation to 3 weeks. You emailed Chandhan about my stomach infection, I said. I did. He wanted to see a medical report from a local doctor. I will make one on a fake letterhead. Take the logo of a Srinagar clinic. Write some gibberish. What will Chandhan know? That is all he asked for, to extend our leave by 1 week. He also wanted a picture of you in the hospital bed. Who is he? Our hostel warden? The air hostess served us sandwiches. I looked out of the window. Clouds hugged the Himalayan peaks beneath us from this height. The valley below seemed peaceful, of course, from here. You couldn't see human beings, the cause for most trouble on the planet. What do we do about the hospital picture? I will say I forgot to take it, or my phone fell into Jalam, or the hospital did not allow pictures. Who cares? You are right. Screw Chandhan. Yeah, screw him, Saurabh said, showing his middle finger. A flight attendant noticed him. Sorry, ma'am, Saurabh said and folded his finger. He turned to me. The idea of sitting in Chandhan classes all day after this adventure makes me want to puke. The adventure has not ended. We still have to go to the captain's house and get that evidence. You want to raid a Hoji's home and get shot? It is an empty home. Arjun Vihar is like any other apartment colony in Delhi. It is not some general's residence with 50 security guards. How will we get in? Break a window? We have to do a Rizzy and Z. There will be some security just at the main gate, like campus. If we get caught, we get arrested. We lost our jobs. Nobody ever hires us again. You are right. Huge downside. Stupid idea. Leave it, I said. I looked out of the plane window again. The view below had turned into flat, dry and brown land. I closed my eyes. Half an hour later, Saurabh woke me up. Can you borrow a power drill from the mechanical engineering department at IIT? Will your juniors on campus help you? Yeah, why? I can use that to drill through the lock. What happened to? If we get caught, nobody will ever give us a job later. Well, nobody is giving us a job even now. Chapter 25. Spit was Chathen's weapon of choice. He was like a fireman with an out-of-control fire extinguisher that day. His emotions ragged between hoping mad to completely endangered. 2 weeks in the middle of the peak months. I allowed you. I didn't, Chathen said, with blended gudka and saliva landing everywhere within a 4 feet radius of his mouth. I felt sick, sir. I said, Saurabh and I had googled stomach infections a few minutes ago. What is that? Chathen said, chewing his pan extra hard. Gastroenteritis, also known as infectious diarrhea, is inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract that involves the stomach and small intestine, I said, repeating the first line verbatim from the Wikipedia page. Chathen looked at me, his mouth twisted in disgust. Symptoms may include diarrhea, vomiting and abdominal pain, fever, lack of energy and dehydration may also occur, Saurabh said, finishing the Wikipedia description. You teach JE or medical? Chathen said, JE, sir, I said. So why are you talking like medical? Pardon me, I said. 3 weeks you disappear. I am going to cut from your salary. Did that mean the idiot was not going to fire us? Fine, I could leave with a pay cut. Of course, sir, I said. I coughed twice. When you fake sickness, you have to cough. I don't care about your treats. My wife is going to leave me anyway, let me tell you. Sorry to hear that, sir, Saurabh said. Yes, she said I am impossible to live with. I don't care. She can go. Her loss entirely, of course, I said. What? Nothing, sir. I hope you will take extra classes for the time you were absent. We will, sir. We just need a few more days off, I said. More days, Chathen said, his volume so loud the classes outside could hear him. Medical tests, sir, Saurabh said. He has recovered, but we need to do some tests. You have to go to Srinagar? Chathen screamed. No, sir, I said, in Delhi only for a couple of days. So, you go. Why does Manish have to go? My name is Saurabh, sir, Saurabh said. Chathen looked at him with suspicion. Is it? Yes, sir. Well, anyway, I will go to help him around the hospital. I am still weak, sir, I said. I coughed 5 times. Chathen pushed his swivel chair back as if a few inches further from me would make him escape my germs. Colored sports t-shirts and white cotton shorts. That is what army officers wear in evening, Saurabh said. We stood on the road across from the guard post at the Arjun Vihar entrance. We had scanned the entire outside perimeter of Arjun Vihar, the army colony with 20 apartment towers located near. We observed the security checkpost at the main gate for a couple of hours in the evening. There was a heavy flow of pedestrians in and out of the colony. If people looked like residents, The security guards let them in and out any special checks. If any officers in evening sports attire walked in with confidence, the guards did not so much as even look at them. Women and children moved in and out without any trouble. Only those men who looked somewhat lost or not fugy enough were stopped and questioned at the security gate. Let us come back with the right clothes, I said. 3 days later, Saurabh and I arrived at the Arjun Vihar main gate again. We came from different directions, but at the exact same time in the evening. Both of us wore the same attire as other officers, the colored white t-shirt and white shorts. Good evening, sir. Good to see you, I said. We had decided that since Saurabh was fatter, he had to be my senior. What timing, young man? Good to see you, Saurabh pronounced rather strangely in what he thought was a colonial British accent and patted my back hard, somewhat overdoing the army commander bit. I just finished my evening walk, sir, I said. Come, young man, come home for a drink, Saurabh said. I think we overdid the drama. The guard barely noticed us anyway. We went inside Arjun Vihar and walked to the central garden quadrangle, the residential towers encircled with public garden. How do we find Faye's place? Saurabh said. He mentioned ground floor, I said. There are so many ground floor flats, 20 towers, 2 ground floor flat in each tower. It is one of the 40 apartments. It will take so long to check each one. We should just ask someone, Saurabh said. Avoidable, I said. Let us take a walk. Read as many nameplates as we can. We walked along the edge of the central quadrangle. We ignored homes that had light on. It meant people stayed there. And Faye had told us his family was in Dubai. Major Yadav. Not this one, I said. Captain Aluwalia. Not this one either, Saurabh said. 15 minutes later, we passed a ground floor home in Tower 8. It had no light switched on inside. It did not have a nameplate either. However, it had a circular sign with Arabic calligraphy. I know what it means. God is great. Sarah had a pendant like that, I said. So it is a Muslim person's house, Saurabh said. I looked around and saw that no one was near us. We went close to the apartment entrance. I peeped into the garden. I saw a somewhat old and neglected double stroller. How did old he say his teens were? I said. 3 years old. Oh, that is a double stroller meant for little teens. This is the place. Let us leave. We will come back again next Sunday, the day of the T20 finals, I said. When does the match start? 8 o'clock. We had entered Arjun Vihar again using the same method, with Saurabh and me meeting at the gate in sports attire. This time we had brought a backpack with us, as we still had time before the match began. We climbed up the 10-storied of Tower 8 and waited near the terrace landing area. We had decided to enter Faye's house at the time of the T20 World Cup finals, when every family in Arjun Vihar would be busy watching TV. One more hour, I said. Saurabh played a game on his phone. I am on level 3, 100 in Candy Crush, he said. Candy Crush? Why? No more Tinder, I said. Screw Tinder, Saurabh said, sliding his finger on the phone as he tried to eliminate all jillies. Didn't you get a Tinder match last week? Turned out to be a transvestite. What? He said, I have boobs, dick and a heart. When I meet, I burst out laughing. 2 out of 3 isn't bad, I said. You could have adjusted. We quite You want the Fugees to come and clobber us, Saurabh said, eyes still on his phone screen. An hour later, it was time. Careful, I whispered. Saurabh parted the hedge so we could go into Faye's garden. We tiptoes over the lawn. The match had begun and the colony looked desolate. I looked around at the apartment above me. In the darkness, I couldn't see anyone. Saurabh sat on the grass and opened his backpack. He took out the power drill, a battery pack and 3 towels. He inserted the battery pack in the drill and switched on the power. The loud whirring noise from the drill made both of us jump. Daman, I whispered, this is too noisy. Wait, Saurabh said. He switched off the power drill and wrapped 3 towels around it. We walked up to the front door, which faced the garden, and I switched on my phone's flashlight to check the lock. Can you do this? I said. It is a doorknob lock, Saurabh said. Yeah, but once I open this, the lock will need to be replaced. He will know someone broke in wherever he comes. As long as he doesn't know who broke in, I am set. And he won't be coming anytime soon. Saurabh used a thin drill bit attachment on the power drill and pressed against the keyhole. Ready, he said. I nodded. He switched on the drill. It went into action. It is still noisy, I said. The towels weren't helping much. Just a few seconds. Wait, I felt one lock pin go. Saurabh switched to the thicker drill hit. He continued to drill. Stop, Golu. Too loud. Relax, Saurabh said. Full attention on the towel-wrapped machine. Done. All 6 pins gone. What? I whispered. He placed the drill back in the backpack. I held the doorknob in the darkness. The drilling had made the metal warm. I turned it to the right. The door opened. Welcome home, honey, Saurabh said. We stepped into dark room. Saurabh and I flashed our phone light around. I saw some paintings of war scenes and a sofa in drawing room, but it was too dark to see much else. What do you know? Saurabh said. Nothing. Find a bed and sleep. We can only search in the morning. We can't switch on the lights. Are you sure we can't search using our phone torches? Oh, Saurabh screamed in pain as I heard a loud thud. What happened? I hit a table, Saurabh said. He hobbled and sat down on the sofa. Bedroom, Golu. We do nothing until morning. Saurabh was snoring next to me. My 5 a.m. phone alarm continued to ring. I sat on the bed and saw daylight outside. Stared. Someone would find us. I had not slept a wink all night. I saw a study table with a desktop computer in the bedroom. It had a framed picture of Faye's family. We were in the right house. Rise and shine, Golu. Over the next 3 hours, we learned a lot about the Khan household. They ate 2 breads of breakfast cereal, chocos and plain cornflakes. They had 2 crates of Milkmaid condensed milk on the upper shelves of their kitchen. They used to Synthol toilet soaps for themselves and Johnson's baby soap for the twins. One of the 2 bedrooms in the house was a kid's room. It had 2 cribs and 2 closets. We checked the closet. One of them contained clothes. The other had toys kept in steel boxes. Saurabh pulled out one of them. So heavy, Saurabh said. What is inside? I said. Saurabh took a peep inside. Spider-Man with a broken leg. Superman with a mustache down on it. Works as evidence. Let us check the master bedroom, I said. This is locked, I said, standing next to Faye's large bedroom closet. As If we haven't broken lock before, Saurabh said. Saurabh took out a flathead screwdriver from the backpack and inserted it between the closet doors. A few hard twists and the door snapped open. You are getting good at this, I said. Alternative career, maybe I should mention. This skill set in LinkedIn. I moved forward to open face closet. Ring. The ringing of the doorbell made us both jump. We checked the time. It was 8:30. Who is it? Saurabh whispered. The hell do I know? I whispered back. We are fucked. The bell rang again. Let us see who it is, I said. We tiptoed out of the bedroom and came to the living room. We walked to the main door. Saurabh, 2 steps behind me. The bell rang again. Bye, Saurabh said, his voice filled with fear. I said, look into the peephole. Who is it? Saurabh mouthed. I kept a finger on his lips. A minute later, the person at the door left. He is going to the opposite house, I said, my eyes still at the peephole. The person rang the bell of the opposite house. What is he going to tell them? Saurabh said. The door of the apartment opposite opened. A maid was standing there, holding a bundle of clothes. She gave it to the person ringing the bell. The person took the clothes and left. I removed my eye from the peephole and stood up straight. It was the dhobi. Came to collect clothes for ironing, he said. I smiled. He's ironed my shirt flat. I think it will explode. Let us go back to the bedroom. I headed to face closet and opened it. One side had his wife's clothes. I riffled through them, but found nothing of relevance. The other side had face army uniform and civilian clothes. In the bottom shelves were multiple pair of heavy black boots. I took out the shoe and kept them on the bedroom floor. What are you doing? Saurabh said, checking the lower shelves. I said, stuffed in the back behind where the shoes had been. I found a sports bag. I dragged it out and opened it. It had 24 tennis balls inside. I ran my hands through the bag. I touched something cold and rectangular. I pulled it out. Wow, Saurabh said out loud. I was holding a 100-gram gold biscuit in my hand. Is this real? I said. Yes, bye. Are there more? I turned the bag upside down. The tennis balls bounced and rolled across the room. 9 more biscuits fell out. This is 1 kilo of gold, I said. Worth what? 30 lakh rupees. Army guys are paid that well? Saurabh said. No, Golu, this is screwed up, I said. The gold glittered in the early morning light. Did you say the box of toy felt heavy? I said. Yeah, why? We ran across the children's room. Under the Spider-Man, Superman and other figures, we found 20 more biscuits neatly arranged at the bottom. Of course, the biscuits were not Parle-G. Everything for Dash, I said. This is messed up. Is he possibly doing wrong things? Saurabh said. He is possibly a fucking murderer. Golu, let us check his computer. As Saurabh switched on face PC, I noticed the 4 drawers of the study table. We need to check these too, I said. He has a machine from the 1800 that taking forever to boot up, Saurabh said. Eyes on the computer monitor. I am going to back his old horse good. I rummaged through the drawers. The bottom 3 had nothing apart from stationery and other household items like measuring tapes and charging tables. The top drawer was locked. This needs a key, I said. Key? Saurabh smiled cockily. What is that? He pointed at the drill. 2 minutes later, the top drawer was opened. Medicines here. A bit of cash, I said, fingering the content. And these are, wow, so many pregnancy kits. What? Saurabh said. I took out 3 packets of Praga news. Saurabh took one from me and opened it. It had a plastic strip with a clear rectangular window in the middle. What exactly do you do with this? Saurabh said. You pee on it. Face does. Are you stupid, Golu? The woman does. If 2 lines appear, it means she is pregnant. This could belong to Faye's wife, Saurabh said, pointing to the family picture. Maybe they want a third child. I examined the Praga news box. On one side, it had a small white sticker. The sticker had a barcode and text that had Prakit INR 50 printed on it. Golu, you have pictures from Sarah's safe? Yeah, I do, Saurabh said, typing on the computer keyboard. By the way, this idiot doesn't even have a password on his computer. No hacking required. What a letdown. You could get in. Here you go. This is the desktop, Saurabh said, slapping his hand on the computer mouse. But can you show me the pictures from the safe first? Saurabh passed me his phone. I opened the pictures of the pregnancy kit in Sarah's safe. I zoomed in. This is the same chemist tag as the kit's here, I said. Saurabh compared the picture with the Praga new packet. Oh yes, they were brought at the same place, I said. Face brought many of them. Gave some to Sarah. The affair is confirmed. Earrings explains too. Sarah was pregnant with a Faye's child, I said. Shell-shocked, I sat on the bed, starting and staring at the ceiling above me. Likely. But what happened? Did he make her abort? Was she pregnant when she died? I covered both my ears with my hands. Are you okay, bye? This is fucking up. I never imagined Sarah could do this. Idiot me, thinking she is some perfect soul of this universe while she goes and fucking. It happened, bye. She told you. I am happy with Raghu. Leave me alone. I thought that is why she wasn't coming back. I stood up. I lifted Faye's family picture and smashed it on the wall in front of me. The glass frame shattered in hundreds of pieces. Bye. Control yourself. If people hear us, we are dead. I am already dead. Let us leave. Can I at least finish checking his computer? Saurabh said. Whatever, I said. Meanwhile, pack up the biscuits. Let us take anything that could help us. Evidence to nail this gay. Fine, I said. I worked on the autopilot as I transferred the gold biscuit into my backpack. I don't know what upset me more. Face killing Sarah or Face making her pregnant. Nothing here on the computer. I only have the captain's browser history. We need evidence, Saurabh said. I don't want the police saying we don't have enough. He likes porn. Pornhub features a lot. I like that one too. He likes them white and young. Shut up and tell me something useful. Calm down, bye. So he Google searched best divorce lawyers in Delhi. Clearly, the perfect grand family isn't perfect, I said. Saurabh continued to talk as he scrolled through the history. Usual online shopping sites and Daman, many searches and clicks on abortion clinics in Delhi. What? Yeah, in December 2017, 2 months before Sarah's death, the idiot never deleted his browser history. Let us take his computer too. No need. I took the browser history on my pen drive, Saurabh said, showing me a memory stick. Good. Anything else? I found some pictures on the computer. Backup from a phone, Saurabh said. Saurabh opened a library of photos. Most were pictures of the Baramulla camp in Kashmir. In many Face posed with his army colleagues. 30 pictures later, we saw a selfie of Face and Sarah. They stood in a houseboat, probably in Srinagar, his arm around her. They stared at the camera like lovers who had just woken up from a nap. The next picture showed a sunset taken from a houseboat window. Need more evidence? Saurabh said, clapping his hands. This sunset picture is the same one Sarah posted on Insta, I said. Fine then. We take the pictures too, Saurabh said. He plugged in the pen drive into Face computer and sucked out everything. Once done, Saurabh shut the computer down. Let us go, I said. We have classes to take. Wait, just one more thing by. What? You think I can eat some of their chocos before we leave? Chapter 26. Chathen met us at the entrance of Chathen classes. Saurabh and I had reached late and missed half of our first class. Pneumonia today, he said, his eyes bulging. No sir, I said. The alarm didn't ring. Both of us overslept. What about the student waiting in class? Sorry sir, we will fix a remedial session, Saurabh said. Chathen looked ready to explode. Should we commit a murder too? Saurabh said. We are ran past Chathen. I am hoping the Gudka will do the job before us, I said. Later in the day, Saurabh and I met in an empty staff room for a few minutes between classes. Bye. Let us give everything we found at a Face house to Rana soon. I don't want to keep it at home, Saurabh said. We will go this evening, I said. My phone buzzed. I looked around to ensure Chathen wasn't lurking around. Oh no, Saurabh, see. On my phone screen was flashing Captain Face. What the? Saurabh said. My hand trembled. What do? I said. Did he find out about us breaking into his house? Saurabh said. The phone continued to vibrate in my hand. How do I know? I said. Pick it up. Act normal, Saurabh said. Good afternoon, Captain Face, I said as I took the call. Saurabh kept his ear close to the phone so he could listen as well. Good afternoon, Keshav. What is up? How is the capital treating you? Face said, his voice cheerful. Fine, sir. I am at work. Delhi is too hot. I miss Srinagar. Oh, you must be busy. I won't take much of your time. I called because I remembered something. What, sir? I gave these really special Kashmiri earrings to Sarah. Saurabh and I looked at each other, surprised. Oh, I said. Special as in, they are traditional Kashmiri earrings. They cost a few lakhs. Sarah said she would pay for them. Of course. She paid you? I told her to pay me when she completes her PhD and starts working. She did give me 50,000 though. The rest I said I would take when she has a proper job. Oh, I said. Yeah, she had always wanted these traditional earrings from an authentic Srinagar jeweler. I offered to help. Sure. Thanks for calling and telling me. Don't think it is important. But still, thanks. Cool. Anyway, keep in touch. Say hi to your friend Saurabh too. Sure. By then, Jai Hind. The call ended. I looked at Saurabh. He said, see how clever he is. Must have figured we had come to investigate or what we might find a earring. I said, yeah. So, better give an explanation beforehand. We sat in silence for a few seconds. You think he could buy Rana? Saurabh said, what? I said, we give all the evidence to Rana. Face call him. Promise more gold biscuit from wherever he gets them. Rana agrees to keep Lakshman in, which he prefer anyway. You think Rana can be bought? Saurabh looked at me like I had asked him if petrol could catch fire. Fine, I said. Let us not go to Rana yet. We can't take that chance, Saurabh said. I walked up and down the staff room as I thought of what to do next. We need to confront face in Delhi in front of others so he can neither bribe anyone nor escape. I said. How? I have an idea, I said. What is it? Let us discuss at home, I said and checked the time. I have to teach differential equations right now. Sure. By the way, bye, Saurabh said and paused. What? I said. Just an idea, so be open-minded. Should we sell one of the gold biscuits and buy a new air conditioner for the house? Safdar, deep in thought, stroked his beard. Saurabh and I sat with him in his tastefully decorated drawing room. We had just told him about the events in Srinagar. Sikandar is dead? Really? He said, a hand still on his freshly dyed beard. Yeah, I said. Safdar spread his palm out and said a prayer. Ya Allah, Safdar said, both Farzana and I have lost our children at the same time. Saurabh and I kept quiet. That boy never followed the right path. I used to tell Sarah so many times. How is Farzana doing? Safdar said. We are not sure. She is still in Srinagar, I said. He might have been a terrorist, but Farzana's pain won't be any less. Of course, I said. So, Sikandar didn't have anything to do with Sarah's murder? Safdar said. No, I said. As I told you, it is Face. Safdar shook his head. Captain Face? Face father Abdul Khan and I have been each other for 15 years. They are close family friends. That is how he managed to get close to Sarah. But later, when Sarah realized her lapse of judgment, Face couldn't take it. I said, Face is married. He has kids who I treat as my grandkids. We broke into his house in Delhi to get the evidence. Saurabh said, we have pictures of them in a houseboat. Pregnancy kits from the same shop. Enough. Safdar barked restlessly. He stood up and walked across the room to his bookshelves. He back to us. He spoke again. That Qatil. I treated him like a son, Safdar said, his words throbbing with anger. We attended his wedding. How could he touch my little girl? Saurabh and I didn't know what to say. He is a Fuji and doing this. What makes him any different from those terrorists? We will get him punished, uncle, Saurabh said. Will it bring my daughter back? Said Safdar in a broken voice. A tear rolled down his cheek. He came back to sit with us again and buried his face in his hands. No, uncle, Sarah won't come back, I said, but her soul may find peace if her killer is punished. Right now, he roams free as a decorated officer. Safdar removed his hands from his face. What do you want me to do? Organize a prayer meet at your house. Call everyone who was close to Sarah, I said. Why a prayer meet? If we give the evidence to Rana now, we are afraid he could sell out. We want to confront Face in front of others and them call the police, Saurabh said. How do we do that? After the prayer meet, invite some of us to stay for dinner. Get us in a room with Face, I said. What do we do then? Safdar said. We confront him over dinner, Saurabh said. And then the police can come and serve him dessert, I said. Scared, Saurabh said, looking up from his phone. Saurabh and I were sitting on my bed. I was typing out a probability test paper on my laptop, which I had to conduct in class next week. I folded the laptop screen shut. No, just anxious. We had 5 days left from the prayer meet. Safdar had sent a sombre white invitation card. I picked it up from the bedside table. It will soon be 100 days since they left us. But we miss her every day, every moment. As someone important in our daughter Sarah Lone's life, we invite you to a 100th day prayer meet at our residence, 238 Western Greens, on 20th May 2018, 5 p.m. Warm regards, Zainab and Safdarlon. Face will buy it. Is there even something like a day prayer meet? I said. There are no rules for grieving. It is from her parents. Reads genuine. It is fine, Saurabh said and went back to his phone. He was reading an article titled How to Hack Tinder for Better Matches. You really think you can hack the matching algorithm on Tinder? What if I could? Imagine every girl, no matter if she swiped left or right, would match with me. And when they see your real picture, won't they figure out they swiped left on you earlier? They may reconsider me too. You have to get them into the shop and display the goods. Maybe they will buy. You are the goods, I said and laughed. When I get a hot baby in my arms, then you laugh, okay? I am teasing you, I said and pulled both of Saurabh's cheeks. You are the best goods any girl can get. Yeah, make fun of me. No, I won't get any girl, Tinder or otherwise. What nonsense. Thank God for arranged marriages in India. If not Tinder, my parents will find someone. Indian parents have been the original left and right sweepers for their kids for centuries. I laughed. Anyway, you heard the news about Mr. Richie Rich. Did you call him, by the way? Saurabh was referring to Raghu. I had been the news pop up on my Facebook feed. The world's biggest artificial intelligence firm had invested in Raghu's company. They had valued Raghu's company at $300 million. Richie Rich wants half, while his investors want the rest. So he is worth $150 million. That is 1,000 crores in rupees, Saurabh said. Fuck me, I said. Yeah, 1,000 crores. FYI, he is our age, 27. We are from the same college, same batch. We and I even dated the same girl. He is worth so much and I have nothing. Can I be a bigger loser? Bye. If he invests the 1,000 crores at a 10% interest, he makes another 100 crores a year. Thanks, Saurabh. That make me feel better. And that 100 crores interest alone can be invested again to make another 10. And that 10 can be invested too, Saurabh said. Will you stop it? Bye. We make less than the interest on the interest of what he already has. Thanks for confronting me, Golu. Are you going to call him? You said we need to tell him about Face. I have to congratulate him on his company's latest valuation too. Screw that. You have to call to tell him. It is important for all of us to be there at the prayer meet. You know this? You said you will call him last week. I took out my phone. Yeah, but how do I say it all? I said that his fiancée had an affair. Her other lover made her pregnant, etc. I thought you wanted revenge. He took Sarah from you. Tell him she was never really his. I shook my head. Doesn't feel right. That desire to hurt him has gone. Okay, spare him the details. Tell him we found the killer. Ask him to show up at the prayer meet. We will share the rest there. He will ask who, of course. Tell him it is Face then. For God's sake, are you going to call or should I? Saurabh tried to snatch my phone. I pulled my hand away. I put the phone on speaker mode and called Raghu. Hey Keshav, long time, Raghu said. Hi Raghu, are you in India? Yeah, I am in office. What is up? I checked the time. It was 10:30 p.m. Working so late? Have to. I have a new investor. We are merging some groups. So, bit of an insane month. Damn it. Should I congratulate him now? I wondered. I decided not to. I would stick on the agenda. We will see each other at the prayer meet, I guess, I said. I am trying to come. Just that all these new investors are on my head. Oh wait, her dad invited you as well, Raghu said. Surprised. He was right to be surprised. Safdar hated me. I had no business being there. Yes, it is part of a plan, Raghu. We cracked the case. You did? Yes, we found the killer. How? I mean, who? You have heard of Captain Face? Yeah, the army officer. Solid guy. Sarah's family friend. He helped you? No, Raghu. Captain Face did it. He is the killer. What? Raghu said and went silent. Raghu, I said, thinking the line had got cut. I am here, he said, his voice unclear. Are you sure, Face? Yes, why? He liked her, I said. What? They had an affair. What are you saying? He is married. He has kids. I know. They still got involved. I tried to be as gentle as possible, using softer words like involved, but I guess anyone in Raghu's situation would only hear it as someone else fucked your girlfriend. Raghu, I said when I heard nothing for a while. You there? You have evidence? Solid evidence. Fucking bastard. I think a comet must have crossed over Earth. It was the first time I had heard Raghu swear. Don't go to the stupid police. Raghu said, I called Rana a few days ago. You did? To check on the case. I called him every now and then. However, he seemed to be happy pursuing the watchman theory and keeping Lakshman in. Yes, it suits him. Rana will watch it up and Face is in the army. He will manage to slim out. Thank you. That is exactly what I thought. Hence, the prayer meet, I said. Even though I didn't like to admit it, I felt good that someone as smart as Raghu was thinking along the same lines as me. Does he have any idea you know? Raghu said no. Good. Now, I will definitely come for the prayer meet on the 20th. No. Yeah. I will be there for sure. I will see you then, I said and then took a deep breath. Also Raghu. Yeah. Congrats. I read the news about the new investor and the latest valuation. Oh, that thanks, Raghu said. Anyway, see you in 5 days, I said. Sure, Keshav? Yes, thank you. Welcome, Raghu. I don't know how I will ever repay you. Saurabh gestured that he wanted to speak to me. 1 second, Raghu. I muted the phone. What? I said to Saurabh. Of course, he can repay us. He is worth 1,000 crores. Maybe he can give us, Saurabh said. Shut up, I said and unmuted the phone. Yes, Raghu, sorry. You were saying something. Nothing. Just that I can never repay you. And I hope they hang him or lock him up for life. They will, I said. I miss her every minute, Raghu said. Okay, I do not need to hear this. I wanted to say, but I didn't. I had told her, let us leave India. Leave this mess behind. I just, Raghu said and completely broke down. I could hear him sob. I understand how you feel, Raghu. Daman, was it my duty to console Gaze, who dated my ex? He wasn't done yet. I wanted to give her everything. All these achievements and congratulations. They mean nothing. Life is quite incomplete without her. He can give us the money if it means nothing to him. Saurabh whispered in my ear. I kicked Saurabh's behind to make him shut up. I had to remain sober when talking to a person who was in tears. It is nothing. All this money. Pointless, Raghu was saying. I realized Raghu could afford a string if he needed a shoulder to cry on. It did not have to be me. I can imagine, Raghu. I have someone at the door. I will see you in Delhi. Yes, sure. Sorry to take your time. Thank you so much again. I entered the call and threw a pillow at Saurabh's head. Fucker, is this a timed joke? I said. Saurabh laughed. You handled it well. Did I? Yes, you told him and yet didn't rub it in. Saurabh said and lay down on the bed. I kept my phone and laptop aside. Golu, go to your room and sleep, I said. Too lazy to move. Bye. Good night, Saurabh said and switched off the bedside lamp. I lay in bed, my eyes still open. I could hear nothing but Saurabh's mild snores and the rhythmic whir of the fan above me. I reflected on my conversation with Raghu. Had I really grown up? I didn't feel jealous of his success, nor did I enjoy seeing him hurt about his fiancee's affair. I didn't make any taunt or jibes. He seemed to be in so much pain that 1,000 crores meant nothing to him. He said he found life quite incomplete without her. My last phone conversation with Raghu resonates in my head as I continue to stare at the ceiling fan go round and round above me. Half an hour later, I switched on the bedside lamp. What happened? Saurabh said in a sleepy voice. I can't sleep. I need to go somewhere. I said. Saurabh said, rubbing his eyes. You want to go on a trip? What? Saurabh said groggily. Let's just get away until the prayer meet. It will help us deal with the anxiety. What? Where? What about classes? I don't care. I can't travel by. I am way behind on my course schedule. Chathen won't just fire me. He will kill me. Fine, I am going away for a few days, I said. I jumped out of bed and switched on the lights. I opened my cupboard and pulled out a suitcase to pack my clothes. Where? Saurabh said, sitting up on the bed and stretching his head. I will tell you later. You sleep now and take care of Chathen for me, please. Prologue continued. On board Indigo flight. That is same story, I said. Keshav grinned. Glad you found it interesting. But you are a dude, Keshav. You actually went to Srinagar and did all this? Yeah, Saurabh came with me and that helped a lot. But not bad for two mediocre coaching class faculty types, I guess, Keshav said. It is incredible. What happened next? You went to the prayer meet? It is tomorrow. I mean today, as it is past midnight already. What? You just said you told Saurabh you were leaving the city for a break. That was 4 days ago. I did go for my break. I am returning home now. I checked the date and time on my watch. It was 1:05 a.m. on May 20th. Oh, where did you go? I said. Several places. To calm my mind, clear doubts, figure things out. I took a guess since the flight was heading back from Telangana, Tirupati or something, I said. Keshav smiled. I went wherever I had to, he said. I understood. He didn't want to tell me more. Ladies and gentlemen, we will soon begin our descent into Delhi, the flight attendant announced. Please fasten your seat belt. The aircraft descended and we could see Delhi's smoke-covered night lights. Within minutes, the plane landed with a mild thud and taxied to a halt. Thanks for listening to me, he said. My pleasure. So you are going to nail him today. Send Sarah's killer to jail. I hope so. Of course you will. Thank you. Will you tell me what happened at the prayer meet later? I said. Why? Well, I want to hear the complete story. The one you said. Oh no, not again too. I already apologized for saying that, I said sheepishly. The moment the seatbelt sign was switched off, passengers got up and began elbowing and jostling their way down the aisle. Everyone behaved as if they all had some emergency, like their homes had caught fire, and they had to get out of the plane 5 seconds before the other. I will call you to complete the story, Keshav said and smiled. We shook hands and exchanged numbers as we left the plane. His phone rang. Yes, Rana sir, okay. That footage is fine, he said. We waved goodbye to each other while he remained busy with the call and took brisk step to walk ahead and away from me. I reached my room at Anda's Hotel in Aerocity, less than 10 minutes away from Western Greens. I tried to sleep but couldn't. In a few hours from now, a prayer meet would take place. Minutes away from me, a killer army officer would be nabbed. I tossed and turned in bed for the 10th time and then finally picked up my phone. I sent a message to Keshav. Best of luck for this evening, buddy. Chapter 27. Dear friends, we are gathered here to find peace. Peace to accept what happened. Peace for me, despite the fact that I miss my daughter every single moment. Peace to not feel so angry and keep asking why. Peace to trust God's will, Safdar said, addressing everyone at the prayer meet. People were sitting in a semicircle on the floor, men and women separately, facing a collage of black and white pictures of Sarah. Around 40 guests, all dressed in pastels, had come. Most of them were Sarah's uncles and aunts, who sat with Zainab and Safdar's aged and ailing mother on the floor. Raghu sat 3 places to my left, while Saurav was sitting right next to me. I recognized several of Sarah's hostel friends in the crowd as well. Sanam, Sarah's friend from Himadri, spoke after Safdar. Room 105 is still hers. It feels like Sarah is going to walk out of it at any moment. I look for her in the lawns outside Himadri, where she used to sit with her books and study, Sanam said emotionally. I checked the time. 5:30 p.m. Faiz had not arrived yet. Safdar had personally called the captain. Apart from sending him the card, Faiz had confirmed his attendance as well. As per my instructions, Safdar had sent a car to pick Faiz up from the airport. We didn't want him to go to his Arjun Bihar home first and see the wreckage. Western Green is right next to the airport. You come straight to our house. Why go home when Salma and the kids are in Dubai? Safdar had told Faiz on the phone. I checked the Srinagar Delhi flight status on my phone. Faiz's flight had already landed. What if he doesn't come? Saurabh whispered in my ear. I nodded at him in a pacifying manner. After Sanam, Safdar invited Raghu to speak. As Raghu stood up to address us, I saw a Toyota Fortuner drive onto lawns. Faiz was here. Saurabh gave an audible sigh of relief as Faiz removed his shoes and entered the room. He folded his hands to greet Safdar and his family from a distance. What can I say? Raghu said and paused. He adjusted his spectacle when he noticed Faiz enter the room. Faiz smiled at Raghu, who gave a brief nod in response. Raghu began his speech. I wanted to say that if there is anyone who has felt her loss the most, it is me. When you plan the rest of your life with someone and then that someone is gone forever, what do you do with the rest of your life? Faiz took a seat in the corner of the men's section. As Raghu continued speaking, Faiz pulled out his phone to check messages. I am shattered. I try to cope. I work so much because I want no time to think. But I know I am not alone in this suffering. All of you here, Sarah's parents, her grandmother, her friends, how can I say? My pain is the most. All of you have endured this loss and still continue to feel the pain. We will never be the same again. Faiz was still glued to his phone. Raghu paused as he fought back tears. One of Sarah's young cousins gave him a glass of water. Raghu took a sip and continued, "In my whole life, I haven't met anyone as kind, as positive, as generous, as compassionate and as loving as Sarah. She is the best thing that ever happened to me. It is she who encouraged me to do whatever I have done in life. I don't think I will ever feel the way I did with her again. Wherever she is, I want to tell her I am grateful to you for all the memories and all the positive things I learned from you. May God bless your soul." Raghu finished his speech. He continued to stand, eyes closed, overcome with grief. Sanam walked up to him, placed her arm around his shoulder and walked him back slowly to his seat. After a few more relatives had spoken, a Maulavi recited a prayer, signaling the end of the prayer meet. People came forward to individually offer their condolence to Safdar before they left. At 7 p.m., a handful of people remained. Face came to hug Safdar. "Uncle, I will take your leave too," Face said. No, you have come all the way. Have dinner and go," Safdar said. "Uncle, I told you, our annual military exercise are on. My senior officer gave me leave for only 1 day, that too on compassionate grounds." "Yeah, but your flight is tomorrow." "Yes, but I haven't even gone home, and my senior officer is messaging me non-stop," Face said. Safdar looked hurt. "Is this not home? Let me feel I can still have dinner with my children." He turned to Raghu. "Raghu, please, you also stay for dinner." "Of course, uncle," Raghu said politely. "Keshav, Saurabh, you too. Sanam, please ask your friends to stay and eat. You girls give sign up company over dinner." Sanam nodded. "Boys, come. We will all have a meal together," Safdar said. Safdar Lawn's dining room impressed me every time I entered it. The ornate 18-seater table had only 5 guests tonight. Safdar sat at his usual seat at the head of the table. Raghu and Face sat on his left, while Saurabh and I took the chairs on his right. I kept my phone in my lap. I typed a message to Inspector Rana. "Are you ready?" "Of course. Now will you tell me what this is about?" He replied. I had told Rana to be on standby for something urgent. "How far are you from Western Greens?" I messaged back. "I am in Oscars, maybe 40 minutes. "Okay, you can start now." 238 Western Greens. "This is that girl, Sarah's parents' place?" "Yes. Come with a few men. I will give you her killer with evidence." "What? Who? How? You sure?" He replied. "Come and get all your questions answered." I looked up from the phone. Safdar smiled at me. "This generation is so addicted to their phones. Even Sarah was like that." "Sorry, uncle," I said. "My mother just wanted to know if I had eaten." "Nobody can love you like your parents," Safdar said. Two servers came into the dining room, each with a tray full of food. They placed the dishes: yellow dal, fulkas, gobi, aloo, chicken soup and a raita on the table, it keeping with the sombre occasion. The Lone family had arranged a simple meal compared to the typical feast served at their residence. The servers ladled out individual portions of the dishes on our plates. I too joined Facebook last year. Now they say you should be on Instagram, Safdar said. "Instagram?" Saurabh said. "Yes, that one. It is so confusing. Anything else I should be one," Safdar said. "Saurabh has a favorite app," I said. "Helps him make new friends." "Which one?" Safdar said. "Nothing," Saurabh said, kicking me under the table. "Apps rule the world now," Raghu said. "By the way, Facebook owns Instagram." "Does it?" Safdar said, surprised. "Yes. WhatsApp too," Raghu said. He ate rice and dal with his hands, just as he used two in the hostel. I love WhatsApp, he said. Helps me stay in touch with people so far away. The domestic help has finished serving the food. Shut the door when you leave, Safdar said to them. Face looked at Safdar, somewhat taken aback, but still smiling. Sorry, I thought we might discuss Sarah's case, Safdar said. Didn't want anyone else to hear. Face nodded as he tore his chapati and dipped it in the dal. That watchman's trial will start soon, Face said. The watchman didn't do it, Safdar said in a cool voice. He didn't, Face said. His chapati morsel stopped midway to his mouth. No, I said. I kept my fork and knife on the table. You are sure? It isn't Lakshman, the watchman, the police said. He did it on TV. Face said. I am sure, I said. In fact, I even know who the killer is. All eyes turned to Face. The hand that held the chapati trembled. Why is everyone looking at me like this? Face said. Gadar, I treated you like a son. Safdar said. What are you saying, uncle? Face said. Safdar pressed his temple with his hand. He said, continue, Kashav. Captain Face Khan. I said, please stand up. Ha, Face said, hesitant at first. Safdar glared at him and Face stood up. I need your help. What? Face said. I will need your strength in case the killer tries to escape. Saurabh, Raghu and Safdar looked baffled. You said, Safdar began, but I interrupted him. Uncle, I have said enough. It is time to killer tells us the truth himself. Everyone at the table looked at each other confused. All I can say this is 8th February 2018, I said. What are you saying? Why? This is not what? Saurabh said. 1 minute, Saurabh, I said. I have airport CCTV footage. On up or. There was a creaking sound as Raghu pushed back his chair and stood up. I need to use the restroom. I will be right back, Raghu said. Captain Face, I said. I rolled my eyes towards Raghu. The military commando understood the message in an instant. He jumped up from his seat at lightning speed and grabbed Raghu from behind with his strong arms. You are not going anywhere, Face said, his strong biceps bulging. Hey, I just want to use the toilet, Raghu said, adjusting his spectacles with his free arm. No, you don't. Sit down, Raghu, and tell everyone what happened, I said. Face released Raghu. Raghu sat down again. What happened, Safdar said. By what? Saurabh said and looked at me. He was in Hyderabad, Safdar explained. I turned to Raghu. Can you please? And their confusion, I said. Chapter 28. Raghu speaks. I know this. Whatever I say here, you will judge me as the bad guy. I am the villain of the story, and now you know it. I don't expect your sympathy. After all, I did kill her. A vegetarian Tamil Brahmin boy, nicknamed Bondu, actually murdered someone. I almost got away with it, though. With so many Muslim suspects around, nobody even considered the term Brahm. Prejudices, I tell you, can be used wonderfully sometimes. I did it with my bare hands. I still remember the night she had fallen asleep. It is easier to do this to a person who is asleep. You get a head start in cutting off their oxygen supply as they are asleep. They don't even realize what is happening for 30 seconds. After that, they wake up. They try to understand what is going on and panic. Panic makes it worse for them. Panic means they will thrash their hands and limbs around, wasting energy and whatever little oxygen they have. Sarah panicked too. Her bird-like body fought my grip, my right hand around her neck. Her oxygen deprived lungs became weaker by the second. Every time she tried to kick me, I gripped her neck tighter. She tried to hit my fractured left arm too. It didn't make any difference. I remember checking the time on my watch. 1 minute and 10 seconds had elapsed. If time flies when you are having fun, it crawls when you are strangling someone. I had read several articles on how to do this on the internet. They said it could take up to 7 minutes for a person to die. 7 minutes is for 120 seconds. Okay, stop shaking so much, Sarah. It is scaring me. I remember telling her she should have conserved her energy instead of fighting. She should have tightened her neck muscle so her windpipe and carotid arteries wouldn't be constricted as much. Of course, she didn't know all this. My poor beautiful Sarah may have been much better looking than me, but she was not as smart. I am an introvert. I think, feel and say things in my head, even though I may not express them verbally. I remember I had a full mental conversation with her in those final minutes as she gasped for air. Sorry, Sarah, I didn't bring a cake. I just couldn't carry so much with me. I had to climb that damn tree to come into your room. You and your ex may find such Neanderthal stuff romantic. I think it is idiotic. I did it though. See, I didn't want you to feel I am any less of a man. It doesn't matter that I run my own company with 100 people, that I can give you what almost no gay in this world can. I even gave you a stake in my company, but until I climb a tree to get into your room, I am still a scared bondo who is not a man. But look now, not bad for a bondo, no. I built triceps and biceps for a month for this. I had to practice climbing a tree using just one arm, so I could do it today with the other one broken. Maybe that is why my grip is working so well. You are protesting less now. Your lungs have realized it. No matter how hard they try, there is no oxygen to be found. Like a fish out of water, your body trembles for a few moments, then gives up. You like eating fish, don't you, Sarah? And other animals, this is how they feel before they die. This is why I am a vegetarian, not because I am a wimp. I didn't want to kill you. You know, I am not the type. I hate arguments, let alone violence. Remember how Keshav would call? He would try to provoke me. I never took the bait. Neither am I a person who will do something on an impulse. It is not like my mind is filled with jealousy and rage. No, it is not that at all. Acting on impulse is for fools. I, Raghu Venkatesh, am not a fool. I may be ugly, nerdy, black as a tawa, a chashmish, a father to potentially ugly kids. Not my words, or a scared bondo. But I am not an idiot. I have researched and planned this for weeks. As per my plan, the police or whichever moron tries to find your killer will go around in circles forever. Oh, and I know the perfect moron who will obsess about solving this and die of frustration. Sarah, you have to be proud of me for this one. I almost wish I could realize you right now. I want to tell you about my brilliant plan. I want you to be impressed by my intelligence. I want to hear your praise. Okay, 2 minutes to go. You have stopped moving. That is a good sign. Of course, you may not be dead yet, only unconscious. I don't know what worked first. I am pressing your carotid arteries, which will stop blood supply to your brain. However, I am also choking your windpipe, so your lungs don't have any oxygen. Maybe both these things are at play. I never took biology. Tech was always my thing. Now 1 more minute to go. You wanted to get intimate tonight. I said no, even though I wanted to. One last time. You looked surprised. You see, I don't have time. Neither do I want to leave any traces. By the way, I never had a chance to ask you. How was I compared to him? I am no stud. I don't have a six-pack or a 6 feet tall body. I don't even have 6 inches of you know what. Is he big? I don't know. Why am I thinking about this? Okay, 7 minutes done. Bye, Sarah. I remember releasing my grip. The bruises showed dark red on her neck, like a bunch of nasty, oversized hickeys. I placed her body in the center of the bed and switched on the table lamp. I had come to her room at 1:50 a.m. I checked the time. It was 2:45 a.m. I congratulated myself on what I had achieved in 55 minutes. I had chatted, pretended to fall asleep and murdered, all in under an hour. I am not only smart, I am also super efficient. According to my calculations, I had to leave by 3:30 a.m. But I had a few more things to do before that. First, I picked up Sarah's iPhone. I placed her thumb on the touch ID. Her fingers felt like a stick of ice. The phone opened on first try though. I messaged the person who I know would respond like a loyal pup. I started a chat with Keshav Rajpurohit. He had an idiotic profile picture of himself with his fat friend. I sent him a message. So you don't even wish me anymore? He did not respond. I sent another one. It is my birthday. I hope you remember. As I waited for Keshav to reply, I rearranged the bed. I shifted Sarah from side to side and changed the bedsheet. She always kept fresh one in her closet. I folded up the used one and tossed it into my backpack. I picked up the phone again. There were blue ticks now, and I saw he was online. I knew it. I know this love lone idiot wouldn't sleep on Sarah's birthday. I sent him another set of messages. Just was surprised you didn't wish me. Anyway, don't know why I was thinking of you. I guess you are busy. He didn't reply. I checked the time. I had to leave in 20 minutes. In desperation, I sent a few more. Are you there? I miss you. A minute later, I saw him typing. Oh, really? He replied, excellent. The fish is biting, I said to myself. 10 minutes of mushy bullshit later, he was on his way to come with Sarah in her room, with a loyal pup on the way. It was time to make my exit. I picked up Sarah's phone and powered it off. I switched it back to again. This time the phone insisted on a passcode that would take care of anyone trying to open it with her thumb. I placed the phone back to charge. I wiped anything I might have touched with sanitizer and tissue and tossed all the used tissues in my backpack. I opened the window. Delhi's cold February breeze hit my face. I checked the time. 3:04 a.m. I am James Bond, I told myself as I grabbed a branch of the mango tree and made my exit. I walked out onto the outer ring road. I was not stupid enough to take an Uber and leave a trail. I rubbed my hand in the cold as I waited for an auto. 10 minutes later, I found one. Airport, I said to the auto driver. Not taking passengers, just going home, he said. I took out 5 purple 2000 rupees note and showed them to him. What do you think? I said. Sit. What will I do at home? The auto driver said. Chapter 29 Airport. Saurabh said. He looked confused, as did Safdar and Face. Raghu sat still, staring at the empty chair opposite him. I don't understand what is going on, Safdar said finally. He was admitted in a hospital in Hyderabad. I checked with his parents too. Rana obtained his phone record as well. His cell phone tower location was near Apollo Hospital at night, Saurabh said. Raghu laughed. He turned to me. See, they still don't believe it. Do you see how tight my plan was? Not tight enough, obviously. Bye, I am serious. Tell us what is going on, Saurabh wailed. Do you have any travel app on your phone? I said. I have Clear Trip and Make My Trip. Why? Open any one of them. Search for flights, let us say for tomorrow night. The route is Hyderabad to Delhi and back to next morning. Saurabh worked on his phone for a few seconds. There are 15 direct flights daily, Saurabh said. When is the last flight? Hyderabad to Delhi, I said. Indigo 6E766 leaves Hyderabad at 11:30 p.m. and reaches Delhi at 1:10 a.m., Saurabh said. I looked at Saurabh and smiled. Wow, Saurabh said. I get it. He takes his flight, lands here at 1:10 a.m., goes to IIT. At that time, less than half an hour from the airport, Daman, he snuck away from the hospital, Saurabh said, as he understood Raghu's game plan. Yes, nicely done, isn't it? Oh, Saurabh said. So all those chats you had with Sarah that night before she died? Obviously, I said. Raghu. Oh no, Saurabh said, as he gave me a concerned look. Never mind, I said. Now check the first morning flight from Delhi to Hyderabad. Indigo 6E765. I leaves Delhi at 4:55 a.m. Arrives in Hyderabad at 7:05 a.m., Saurabh said. He lands back in Hyderabad early morning, so no traffic again, and he can reach Apollo in 30 minutes. Back in his bed by 7:45 for sure. Oh, Faye said, as he also understood how Raghu had done it. Safdar sat stiffly, still in shock. You said his phone location, Safdar said. Oh, yeah, Saurabh said. Rana checked the phone tower location. In fact, he had messaged to wish her at midnight sharp. He showed you the chats when you were at social. Yeah, I know, I said. Actually, bye. How did you even suspect? Saurabh started to ask, but I interrupted him. Golu, remember I told you I was going on a trip? Yes, around a week ago. I went to Hyderabad. Why? Saurabh said. Chapter 30 1 week ago. You don't have to compare myself to him. So what if he is super rich? I told myself again. I lay in bed but couldn't fall asleep. I had spoken to Raghu in the past as well. It had never caused insomnia before. Was it something he said? Did he make an indirect taunt or insult? I replayed our conversation in my head. I had just told him we had found out that Face had killed Sarah, told him about their affair, skipped the gory bits like pregnancy kits. He had reacted as expected, cursing Face and become emotional. Later he thanked me and said everything he had seemed worthless. Life is quite incomplete without her, he had said. Why was the phrase stuck in my head? It seemed familiar. I repeated it in my mind a few times. I picked up my phone from the bedside table. I opened my last WhatsApp chat with Sarah, one of the most precious things I had in my life. I had gone through this chat a dozen of times since that day. I scrolled through it again until I reached the end and found what I was looking for. Life is quite incomplete without you. A tremor went through me. No, this could be a coincidence, I told myself. I looked at Saurabh. He was fast asleep. I lay down again. He was in Hyderabad. The hospital confirmed it. The cell phone location confirmed it. A voice in me countered the thought that had struck me. It is face only focus. I turned in bed, determined to fall asleep, when I had another thought. If Face was looking at divorce lawyers, why would he hurt Sarah? That too, if he found out she was pregnant, he seemed ready to leave Salma for her. I sat up again. I opened the ClearTrip app on my phone. I checked for all flights between Hyderabad and Delhi. I sorted the flights by time. Last flight out 11:30 p.m. First flight back 4:55 a.m. Difficult but doable. I remembered my earlier chat conversation with Raghu when he was in San Francisco. I am used to it. Do such a trip all the time, he had said. Maybe I should actually take the flights and check if this is double, I thought, and switched on a light. What happened? Saurabh said. I can't sleep. I need to go somewhere. Oh, Saurabh said. I took the same trip he did, only in reverse. I boarded E765, the first flight from Delhi to Hyderabad at 4:55 a.m. It landed in Hyderabad at 6:50 a.m. ahead of schedule. As I made my way out of the airport, I noticed several CCTV cameras, hoping Rana could help me access this footage. I stepped out of the Rajiv Gandhi International Airport at 7:05 a.m. Several drivers offered me a ride to the city. They took cash and did not want any of my details. I took a taxi to Apollo Hospital with a little early morning traffic. I reached the hospital gate at 7:29 a.m. I went into the main lobby and found a common toilet. He could have changed his clothes there to switch back to the green overalls that admitted patients wore in the hospital. I checked the time. It was still 7:33 a.m. I remembered Rana had called Raghu at around 8:45 on the morning of Sarah's death. Raghu would have just got back when he received the call. Rana had let me listen in. A nurse had picked up the phone before passing it to Raghu. She had a Christian name. I took the lift and reached the private room on the first floor. If he wanted to leave unnoticed from the hospital, he must have taken the private rooms on the first floor itself, so he could leave through a window. Yes, sir. How can I help you? A nurse said to me. I had a friend admitted here, I said. He had a nurse attend to him. I would like to meet her, to thank her. What is her name, sir? I went blank. I am trying to remember. Jenny. No, wait, Jenny. She had a Telugu accent. I said. Oh, Jenny Anthony. Sir, the nurse said. She is around. Check the staff canteen. She must have gone for breakfast. Who will forget a patient who leaves a 10,000 rupees tip? And Jani said, after I showed her Raghu's picture on the phone. The hospital staff canteen smelled of medu vadas and Dettol. The tiny room had a flask of tea and a small snack counter. All types of hospital staff, including masons, plumbers, compounders, lab attendants, accountants, and nurses, occupied the various tables. I sat with Jani at a corner table so nobody could hear us. So you took care of him for what? A week. 5 days. When he left, he still had a cast. However, once his tests came out fine, the doctor let him go home. He didn't want me to get stressed, so he never told me everything properly. That is why I came to ask you. Oh, it is okay, sir. What exactly happened to him? Left arm, hairline fracture, bruises on his arms and legs, twisted ankle. Did he say or do anything unusual during his stay? As in, no, sir. He is a quiet sort of person, as you may know. His parents came to visit him, otherwise he would rest or sometimes be on his phone. Did he make any calls? Just to his fiancée. I saw her picture, so nice looking. Some Muslim girl. She died, he told me. Very sad. Yes, sir. It was her birthday, it seems, and he was so upset he couldn't be with her. He wanted to be the first to wish her. I still remember. I helped him. I looked at her, surprised. Helped him? I said. The doctor had instructed Raghu sir to sleep early, no later than 6 p.m. He wanted to wish her at midnight, so I helped him. How? I had a night duty. He gave me his unlocked phone. He had already typed a happy birthday message at exact midnight. He told me to just press send. I did, and Sarah mom had the first wish from Raghu sir. Wasn't he the best boyfriend in the world? Yeah, I said, letting out a huge breath. He definitely was. Chapter 31. Raghu clapped, startling everyone. What? Someone should appreciate Keshav's hard work, Raghu said and laughed. What is so funny? Saurabh said. I underestimated his idiot, Raghu said. You overestimated yourself, you asshole, Saurabh said. But who beat him up? Safdar said. Uncle, someone who can create a 1,000 crore rupees company can't arrange some goons to do a hit job on himself, I said. Thorough job. Fracture and everything, Saurabh said. President's gold medal winner, after all, I said. So he gives his phone to Jenny, says goodnight, slips out of the window and gets to the airport, flies to Delhi and comes back in few hours. Air tickets, Saurabh said, in cash, at the airport, using a printout of a photoshopped Aadhaar card with his picture and another name. I said, oh, he really thought it through, Saurabh said. Smart, isn't it, Face? I said. Face was staring at Raghu with clenched fists. Why, Raghu? Why did you kill her? Face said. His anger barely leashed. Raghu didn't answer. Face stood up. He punched Raghu right in the face. Raghu's mouth began to bleed. His spectacle fell on the floor. Raghu remained silent. Slowly, he bent to pick his spectacle. As Face charged to strike another blow, Raghu signaled him to stop. This doesn't hurt. I can take it. I hired men to give me a fracture, remember, Raghu said. Safdar stood up. Then as if coming out of a coma and said in a hushed voice, she loved you so much. Raghu did not answer. Why did you kill my little girl? Safdar said in the same low voice, as if wanting only to understand. Raghu smirked, because what she did had killed me. Chapter 32. Raghu speaks too. Let us sleep, Sarah. 5 minutes, I promise, she said. I turned in my side to avoid the light from her phone. I had to wake up early for a meeting in office. Sarah was on a 4-day trip to Hyderabad and we had just come back from dinner at Taj Palace to celebrate making her a partner in my company. I wanted her in my arms. I turned to her after a while. 5 minutes are up. Yeah, she said absently, eyes still on her phone. She had a smile on her face. So coming. she said. She stroked my hair with her left hand and she continued to type with her right. Who are you messaging? Someone in Insta. She read my blog and doesn't agree with it. Just a bit of a debate with her. Seriously, Sarah, I wanted her. I had missed her body next to mine. You close your eyes, she said, patting my head. I turned away from her again. I stared at the wall clock. 10 minutes later, I turned my head to watch her from the corner of my eye. She grinned as she typed a message. Who grins like that when they talk to a random stranger on the internet? 10 more minutes and she shut her phone and slid into bed. I turned away from her. She held me from behind. It is easier if you spoon me, she said. I pretended to be asleep. I am sorry, baby, Sarah murmured. I turned around. She moved into position for me to spoon her. This is the best place in the world for me, Sarah said. I placed my hand on her back, slowly sliding it to her chest. She held my hand and moved it away from her breasts. I tried again. Again she removed my hand. Can we just hold each other tonight? She said, turning to look at me. Her beautiful almond eyes shone bright. How could I say no to them? Sure, I said. Good night, love, she said and pecked me on the cheek. She fell asleep in a minute, leaving me wide awake and worried. I had found Sarah's behavior odd for weeks. When her breathing turned rhythmic, I leaned over to her bedside table and picked up her iPhone. She did not move. I brought her phone near her hand, took her thumb, and gazed it on the iPhone's Touch ID. In a flash, the phone unlocked. I climbed off the bed and went to the bathroom. I opened Sarah's WhatsApp in the bathroom. Right on top was a chat between Sarah and Captain Face. I scrolled up to a conversation from 3 days ago. Are you tense? Face said, somewhat, not in full panic mode yet. Don't worry, it is nothing. My periods are never this late. I pulled out. You checked the calendar too. I know, but worried. My darling, you are fine. Should I take a test? Praga news or something? Don't overreact. Why not? I am 2 weeks late. Give it a few more days. Say a week. Can we do a test when I am back from Hyderabad? Sure. Sorry to put you through this. My fault too. No, I insisted you not use protection. I wanted to feel you. I went weak. I clasped the phone hard to prevent it from slipping from my hand. I scrolled down to the more recent chats. The latest one was from tonight. This was what Sarah was actually doing when she said she was in a debate with some blog reader. How is Hyderabad? Face had messaged, it is good. Just had a lovely dinner with Raghu at a restored place. What? Am I allowed to say I am jealous? No. Okay, I won't. We decided. Face, it is over. I know. You have a family, kids. I know. But for you, I can change that. Let us not talk like that, please. I miss you, my little baby. What do you do today? I went to Khan Market. Brought Praga news. You did? Yeah. 10 packets. 10? Yeah. The chemist looked at me like I run a haram or something. Lord, can't believe you bought 10 because I want you to double check and be calm. More like a Decca check. Come back soon and we can test it. Okay, thanks. By the way, that is very sweet of you. Just doing what I have to. I am sure it is nothing. Yeah, me too. But listen, your face. What if there is something? Please don't say that. Just imagine how cute your kid will be with such beautiful parents. Sarah, good to know what you find funny these days. I thought two beautiful Kashmiris giving birth to a beautiful Kashmiri angel. Face had said. Face. Sarah, just dream with me for a moment. Can you grant me that? You are crazy. Yes, I am. So say. Boy or girl? Girl, of course. And my brains, not yours. Shut up. And looks. I am okay if looks are on dad. He is mighty handsome. Thank you. Okay, need to go. It is late. Raghu is calling me. Stay. What? Have my baby. What? Even if you are with Raghu, at least our child will be super good looking with him. You never know. What face? Shut up. She had asked Face to shut up. She had also added tears of laughter emojis. Fuck the emojis, man. They change everything, don't they? Well, you don't want a goose look for your kid, do you? All black, black, ugly, ugly. Shut up, you racist. Captain Sahib. So, at least keep a good Kashmiri gene pool. How may Peck's Face? None. Honest. Good night. And bring those kit with you next time we meet. Wait. Good night. The chat had ended after that. I looked at myself in the bathroom mirror. Sure, I am dark skinned or all black black as Face called my future kids. All black black ugly ugly, he said. Funny, isn't it? I don't know. I am not finding it funny, but Sarah did. Is this what a loser looks like? Am I a classic example of what the guys back at IIT used to call me, a chudia? My girlfriend fucks a 4G on the side, doesn't use protection, could be pregnant by him and at least in digital emoji form. Laugh hysterically when told my kid could be all black black ugly ugly. And what am I doing about it? I asked the person in the mirror. Fucking nothing. In fact, I am scared. I am worried that Sarah might wake up and find out I opened her phone. What will happen if I confront her about her cheating? What if she walks out? Will a loser like me ever get a girl like Sarah again? More than being angry with her, I am still scared about losing her, despite what she did. Textbook definition of loser, isn't it? I went back to the bedroom, put the phone on the bedside table on Sarah's side. Sarah, fast asleep, had not moved from her position. I lay down in bed and stared at the wall clock and thought about Face and Sarah and Face, the entire night. Hot idlis and coffee, Sarah said, just the way you like it. You didn't have to wake up, I said. I sipped my filter coffee, something Sarah had now learned to make almost as well as my amma. I wanted to say sorry about last night, Sarah said. I was just tense. Why? I wanted to tell you, I am a bit late. Of course, honey, I already know. I wanted to say, but didn't. Oh, I said, you think there is a chance? Last month, when you came to Delhi, Sarah said, I was mid-cycle. But I used protection. I always do. Then, what else? Unless it is a hormonal imbalance, no other possibility. How about you riding an army man's gun? I wanted to ask. I took a bit of an idli instead. What do we do? Anything I can do, I said. I will work it out. Just wanted you to know for now, Sarah said, refilling my coffee tumbler. Let me know if you need anything, I said. Sure. I stood up, to leave for office. Raghu, she called from behind. Is she going to confess? I wondered, tensing up. Yeah, I turned toward her. You know how you always talk about us taking the next step and settling down? Yes, let us get engaged. I am ready, Sarah said. She smiled and hugged me. Of course you are, honey, of course you are, I thought, and hugged her back. Safdar loan spared no expense for his only daughter's engagement. He covered his entire house with flowers and lights. My parents had come from Hyderabad with a dozen relatives. They never said a word when I told them Sarah was Muslim. How would they say no to their favorite son? Didn't I achieve whatever they wanted me to achieve? I slipped the 3-carat solitaire ring into Sarah's delicate finger. She looked ethereal in a green lehenga. She placed a ring on my black, ugly finger too. When is the nikah? One of Sarah's aunt asked Safdar. It is up to them, he said. Sarah looked into my eyes as if trying to find an answer. She couldn't. She had no idea what was going on in my mind. Here is what I was thinking. Sarah, why are you getting engaged to me? So that if you are pregnant, you can marry me and make me raise Faith's child? Is that your plan? What would that make me? A cuckold? Whatever Sarah says, uncle, I said. Abba, not uncle. One of Sarah's aunts reminded me and laughed. I nodded and smiled. I will change my religion. I will give her half my equity stake. I will work day and night. I will call Sarah's father Abba. I will do all this to make Sarah happy. What will she do in return? Make me raise a bastard. Next month, Sarah said. I looked at her, surprised. Really, I said. So fast, or as soon as we can. I want to leave all this behind. I have had enough of India. I can't deal with Saxena, this relative and all the noise and pollution. Okay, I said. My mind continued to churn. If I break up with her, what if she doesn't give the stake back? I am her nominee. But if she is alive, she can hold on to it. Daman, what will I do then? Let us make a fresh start. Sarah was saying into my ear. Yes, soon all this will be over, I said and patted her hand. Chapter 33. Safdar looked at Raghu and face gobsmacked. Saurabh and I waited as Raghu paused in his story and drink water. He finished the whole glass in one gulp and spoke again. I know all of you are emotional right now, but if you look at it logically and from my point of view, I had a little choice gaze. Everyone looked at Raghu, shocked. He continued. Here were my options. Option 1, I am the idiot who raised a bastard. Option 2, I break up with her and bear the pain of her loss while she walks away with her lover and half my company. Both way I am screwed for life. Face cleared his throat as if wanted to say something at this point, but Raghu went on speaking. Thus my only option was a third one. Eliminate Sarah. If I did it well, I would never get caught. I would lose Sarah, but I had lost her already. Sarah would get her punishment. Face would suffer. I would get my company back. If the plan worked, this idiot Keshav would be found on the scene and create enough confusion to keep me safe. Hell, he almost ended up getting Face jailed. Sweet justice. It almost did work, but I got you, I said last night. When I landed in Delhi, Rana told me they have the CCTV footage from Hyderabad airport. Just a matter of time before they find a person with a Cast and backpack who looks like you. Well done, I already told you. I clapped too. What else do you want? A Nobel Prize? Raghu said, his voice irritated. She wasn't pregnant, Face said in a firm voice, looking at the table. Everyone turned to Face. What? Raghu said. No, it was a real scare. But she wasn't pregnant, and she wasn't trying to marry you so soon because she wanted you to raise my child. Face covered his face with his palm and broke down then. You gay? No. Why we became so close? Face said, crying. He took out his phone and showed us a selfie of Sarah and Sikandar with the machine gun. This is the same picture we found in Sarah's park phone. Saurabh mumbled to me. Sarah came to me with this picture, Face said. Why? Safdar said. She had tried to get Sikandar to change, leave his terrorist activities, but he wouldn't listen. Sarah told me she had found out that Sikandar had stockpiled guns in a hotel room in Old Delhi for a potential terror plot in the capital. How did she find out? I said. She won Sikandar's trust, convinced him. She had changed her mind about what he was doing. He told her about the grand plan to hit the capital. She played along. He took her to the storage location. That is where she took the picture. That is what I felt too about this photo. That Sarah was smiling for a reason, Saurabh said. What happened then? Safdar said. I wanted to report it to the authorities. However, Sarah had a condition. She wanted me to foil the plot but spare Sikandar. Face said. What did you do? I said. My first mistake. I agreed. What else could I have done? I had fallen in love with Sarah by then. Face said. Gaze still down to avoid my eye contact. Love. My foot. You didn't think of Salma? The kids, Safdar said. I don't know. I had always wanted her even before Salma, but she was dating Keshav and never gave me any attention then. It was only now, when I found her vulnerable, I was able to get her. Vulnerable? I said. You gaze had broken up, and yet you used to get drunk and call her all miserable. Meanwhile, she had chosen Raghu as a stable option, which is what she said she wanted. However, every now and then, and especially after your call, she missed the craziness she had with you. I gave her that and had her, at least for a while. It is shameful what you did, Safdar said. Face did not answer. Complete what you were saying about Sikandar and the guns, I said. I took 5 men from my army unit at night. We shot the 2 men who were guarding the stockpile. However, I let Sikandar go, Face said. What happened next? I said. We handed the gun and ammunition to the police. They happily took credit. A small news item came on the arms hall the next day. No wonder she liked you. Doing this daredevil act, even though illegal, Raghu said, without looking at Face either. She liked me because I actually cared for her and gave her the passion and attention she missed, Face said. While you were married, Raghu said. Face didn't respond. Anything else, Face? I said. I took money too. Second mistake, Face said. He closed his eyes and scrunched them hard, as if he found it difficult to make this confession. Sikandar sent me a gift, gold biscuit. I kept them. You don't really make much as an army officer. I thought, if I get divorced, I might have to give a lot of what I have to Salma. The gold from Sikandar would give Sarah and me a good life. Gadar, not just to my family, but also to the country, Safdar said. I am not a Gadar, Face shouted. I saved my country from a major terror attack, and I would have left Salma and married Sarah. Done the right thing, Face said. His entire frame shook. I have lost everything. Don't expect any sympathy, Safdar said. I got tempted. I will surrender the gold biscuit to the police, Face said. Saurabh took out the plastic bag with a shiny yellow biscuit from his backpack. You mean this? Saurabh said. What the? Pink face turned pomegranate red. Long story, I said. And you don't have to surrender the biscuit to anyone. We will ensure they reach your army seniors. But Face began before Raghu interrupted him. You used her. She was weak when it came to her stepbrother. And you used that, Raghu said. No, Sarah and I had something real. Sarah loved me, Raghu said. Not you. You never had time for her. You say you built the company for her, but you never gave her your time, Face said. My company is all I have, and it was for us. She should have understood, Raghu said, his voice trailing off. She did understand, and she regretted what we did, Face said. She ended our relation. Didn't want me to divorce my wife. She just wanted to get away, make a fresh start with you. But you had an affair. It was a mistake, yes, but you didn't murder people for that. You have no idea how it feels, Raghu said as the sound of a siren interrupted him. That should be Inspector Rana and his team, I said. Are you serious? Raghu said. I shrugged. You committed the crime. You have to pay for it. Raghu looked at Saurabh and me. How about I give both you more money than you would ever earn in your life? Raghu said. What? I said. All you have to do is tell the police to take Face. He's a crook. Let him rot in jail. Face stood up, frowning. $10 million. 5 for your friend. Deal, Raghu said to me, his face dead serious. I walked up to Raghu and grabbed his collar. She left me for a sick person like you. Son of a bitch, I said. Inspector Rana entered the room just then with 2 cops. What is going on here? Rana said. Inspector Sahib, I said. Time to replace the watchman with a millionaire. I turned around on the back seat of the police jeep to look at the van behind us. Don't worry, he can't run away. That happens only in the movies, Rana said. Saurabh and I were in the inspector's gypsy driving toward Haska's police station. Rana, who sat in the front, had a permanent grin on his face. Keshav, Rana said. Yes, sir. You guys are good. You never gave up. Well done. Thanks, sir, I said. Saurabh and Rana smiled. There is no traffic. You could drive faster, I said to the driver, who was moving at the pace of a bullock cart. It is okay, I told him to go slow, Rana said. Why? I said. Rana winked at us in the rearview mirror. Gives enough time for the media to arrive, he said. Of course, Saurabh said. Tomorrow morning, Rana would be the star cop in Delhi. Which other inspector had the guts to release a watchman and toss a multi-millionaire into jail? I am thinking double promotion, Rana said. His back to us. Not triple, Saurabh said. What? Rana said. Before he could get the sarcasm, his phone rang. The Delhi police PR department had called to assure him that the entire Delhi media was on its way. As Rana spoke on the phone, I stared out of the window at the full moon. Bye, Saurabh said. Yeah, I said. Congrats. Yeah, to you too, I said, my voice soft. Are you happy? Yes, I am. Why don't you sound happy? You found out who the killer was. I also found out something else. What? She didn't miss me on her last day. All those chats didn't come from her. She was already dead. Yeah, Saurabh said. Raghu sent them. I wish I hadn't found that out. A tear fell from my eyes even as I tried to hide it by leaning my face out of the window. Loud noise and flashing lights greeted us at the police station. Rana sir, look left, said a photographer. Rana sir, right pose, please. said another one. Rana sir, ABP News. First statement here please, a reporter said. The yelling from media person, the clicking of cameras and hundreds of flash bulbs overwhelmed as we stepped out of the gypsy. I heard Inspector Rana speak to one of the reporters at the police station entrance. I am happy to say we have solved the Sarah Lone murder case. The murderer is Raghu Venkatesh, Sarah Lone's fiancé and owner of a tech company in Hyderabad. As you can see, the courageous Delhi police is not scared of arresting rich people. Mr. Raghu Venkatesh is under arrest. Watchman Lakshman Reddy will be released immediately. I had woken up at 4 a.m. to reach the cemetery at 5 early enough so nobody would see me. I placed a white rose, Sarah's favorite flower, on her tombstone. I didn't know if I mattered as much to you, but you did mean a lot to me, I said. I sank to my knees. I bowed and touched my forehead to the ground. I love you, Sarah, I said, perhaps too much. Thank you for showing me what love is all about. And thank you for also teaching me to never love someone too much. I stood up to leave. Goodbye, Sarah. I unlove you. Chapter 34. 3 months later, a little higher, I said. The carpenter and his assistant raised the sign above the shop by 6 inches. I read it out loud. Said detectives. Saurabh had suggested the name of our new agency. We had rented a small 100 square feet shop in Malviya Nagar. We had also created a web page and social media account for said detectives. Tell me again the logic behind that name, I said, sitting on one of the 2 wooden chairs in our agency. Z is the last letter of the alphabet, the ultimate one like Z class. Security given to VVIPs is the ultimate one. Sounds cool too, Saurabh said. That is why you called it Z, I said, one eyebrow up. You are a detective too, figure it out, Saurabh said. I smiled. I never liked her at first for what she did to you, but I realized she was human after all, and it is she who led us to a new path in life. She deserves this little tribute, Saurabh said. Thank you, I said, and ruffled Saurabh's hair. Now, how can we have a shop opening without any sweets? Wait, I will call this new mithai shop. You have to try their jalebis. So, you have a detective agency on the side? Carl Jones, senior VP at CyberSec, asked me. I sat in their office in Gorgon, which had a pollution-tinted view of the metro track outside. Yes, my friend Saurabh and I started it. We had helped the police on the Sarah Lone case. Just enjoy it as a hobby. He is also interviewing with you, by the way. We heard about Sarah case, the IIT girl, right? Anyway, we are a cyber security firm. Investigation skill can only help us. We have no formal investigation skill as such. So, what do you think helped you solve the case? Just a curious and open mind without any prejudice and an attitude of never giving up. Just those qualities can get you quite far, not just for a case, but even in life, Carl said. Thank you, sir. I am also learning that. Still, I want to know your thinking. Tell me, how exactly did you go about solving the case? Yes, Chandan said. Saurabh and I were in his office facing him. He was checking the account sheet on his desk and not looking up. We need to talk to you, Saurabh said. I don't have time. And what are you doing here? Go, teach. We are quitting, I said. We have another offer from a leading cyber security firm and we get to solve cases on the side too, Saurabh said. What? Chandan said, looking at us with his mouth open and Gudka quite visible. And you are disgusting, you suck. Saurabh said and stood up. He didn't mean that, I said and stood up as well. Of course, I fucking did, Saurabh said. Okay, maybe he did. Fuck you. Chandhan, bye. Bye, I said. We sat in my bedroom late night. Saurabh was on his phone. He had just finishing a six-pack dinner, which, contrary to his fitness-related name, involving cooking 6 packs of Maggi noodles. Saurabh looked up from his phone and gave me a wide grin. Why so happy? I said. New match on Tinder. A real one? Yes, software engineer. She loves the fact that we are detectives. I told her about you too, and we are meeting for drinks at Hoska's village in an hour. She is bringing her best friend with her. Get ready, Mr. Detective.